studios, and so is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tausch. Tausch, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing really good this morning. Got a good night's sleep. Had a great baseball practice last night. So I couldn't be happier.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You can raise the level of those of us around you then.
That's what
struggling.
That's what being on a team is. When someone else is down, pick them up.
Yeah.
When somebody else is up, pick them down. Right?
Yes. Drive them down. When they're up, drag them down. Yes. That's what we're looking for.
So what happened, buddy?
So, and look, I hope I've been looking, trying to find news on this. I hope everyone was okay. But there was a car accident on Interstate 43 northbound last night that must have occurred moments before we reached there because we were backed up and we were in the heart of it. Like, the first responding police vehicle came through, and it was in a construction zone. So on each side of the two lanes that were functional were concrete barriers. So there was nowhere to go. Like, there was no shoulder on either side. There was nowhere to go. The state trooper had to squeeze through. We're all, like, moving as far over as we can. But we sat there for an hour and 38 minutes without moving at all. Which I've never had. Like, I've been in plenty of traffic jams, but never dead stop for more than 90 minutes.
So let's go inside your mind, because you can be super annoying, right? We all agree with that. But you're
I appreciate you lifting me up.
No, I'm getting there. But you're also very empathetic. You have a good empathy bone about you.
Thank you.
How do you balance the, oh my God, I hope everything's okay, accident ahead with the, I don't want to sit in traffic for 5 hours? Because everybody always is like, oh my God, I hope that everything's okay. But in the same breath, you're also like, I hope that they get the road cleared so we can go.
Well, I think, and I don't know this, but I did follow the DOT, which I know the DOT loves them some Mark Tauscher, on Twitter, and I looked, and it did say that all lanes were blocked. But because we only stayed at a standstill for an hour and 38 minutes, which I know I wouldn't use the word only while I was sitting there.
That's a nothing burger.
I think I'm hoping it was a relatively minor accident, but there was nowhere to go with the crash. Like, there was nowhere to move it to because of the construction zone. So slow down in those construction zones out there. But I think everything was stopped. They probably had to bring, like, the tow trucks and emergency vehicles, like, had to drive south on the northbound side from above where we were to get to the crash zone. And I think it just took a long time for it to clear because there was nowhere to go with it. So I'm hopeful that everyone is fine. But, yeah, we got to it at 9:30. We started moving again at 11:08.
Oh, you're going to be tired and grumpy today then, aren't you?
So less sleep and we'll be grumpy.
Less sleep and we'll be grumpy.
So I think Maddie and I and the dogs got home at 12:26. So that was awesome. So yes, I'm very, very tired today.
So you come to grips that this is sitting there. You're going to be sitting there. Do you shut the car off? Do you play games? What do you listen to podcasts? Do you let Maddie sleep or do homework? What do you do here?
So our general rule is she gets done at 9 o'clock at the Milwaukee Ballet School and Academy. She has a half hour to eat whatever I've brought her for dinner and to putz on her phone. And then at 9:30, which maybe if I'm driving, I give her a little more grace period than someone else who might be driving her. Paula!
We understood that. Yeah.
And so maybe it'll be 9:40 before she gives up her phone. And then she goes to sleep. And then she's really good about sleeping in the car and then getting home, going up to bed, and falling right back to sleep. So otherwise, I don't think she could function with this level of commitment she has to ballet. So she went to sleep, but she had trouble going to sleep while we were stopped because she was worried about what had happened to some fellow drivers. So she was a little panicky. My anxiety, too, was like, you can't get out. Like sitting, you did this. The first person I thought of was you.
I like when you're thinking about me. Yep.
And I had plenty of gasoline, unlike you.
Yeah, actually, the more I think about it, the no gas gives you a different level of anxiety that you're more worried about and freezing to death.
Yes,
so I don't recommend it. You guys know I have issues with gas, and I'm not talking about flatulence, but I probably have that. Say
what?
Gas, I have the, I can't stop, I don't do this, blah, blah, blah.
Forward motion syndrome.
Yeah, but that was one of those moments where I thought it would have been really smart to, at least now it's, mid-40s at night, you'd be fine.
We did shut it down for a while, but I've never had that happen. Like, if you get into a traffic jam, and we've all been stuck in traffic, but you're still usually inching ahead to some degree. There is at least some forward motion. This was zero.
Yeah.
So it was, and then then you're one of the things that maybe you don't have to worry about this sort of stuff because you've got an iron bladder. That's why you don't allow anyone to stop when you're driving. But I'm thinking, all right, I need to drink my caffeinated bubbler drink. Shout out to Tier 1 Tyler.
Have you ever used a milk jug or Gatorade bottle? Have you ever went down that road?
No, because I am willing to stop. I think it's a small inconvenience to stop. You and Paula, you guys should drive across the country together at some point. See how many times you stop.
I don't think that's a good idea for either of us, if I'm being honest with you.
I just can't imagine doing that. That is not my thing. But so now my conundrum was I need the caffeine from the bubbler drink, but I don't know how long I'm going to be sitting here. So do I drink it or not? So I took small sips in an effort to get the caffeine that I needed to stay awake for the rest of the drive.
I feel like in a situation like that, and you're stuck there for 2 hours, I think cops, if you got out and asked the cop, hey, man, I've been stuck here for a while. I've been sucking down coffee and bubblers like there's no tomorrow because I'm tired. Do you care if I go over and urinate over in the side? They would say yes.
Yeah,
right?
they're going to let you.
Yes, for sure.
There were a lot of cars in the section that we were stopped in. How far down the embankment do I go? I just didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
there were a lot of issues. So I will soldier through. You will be able to say by the end of the show, hopefully, thank you for your service, and I will stay focused on the program. But I need you to pick me up, partner.
I'm here for you, buddy. I got you.
And you've got a problem with gas. Jesse has a long and distinguished show sheet for us. All kinds of great ideas. All kinds of great audio clips.
Tausch just giving me a look.
You must be looking at a different show sheet. I haven't played this in a while. We'll see how this goes. Oh, reaction to Greg Cosell. Okay.
Greg Cosell pregame show.
I will say,
show.
I am excited to hear from you. We had Greg scheduled pre-draft, but in all honesty, I'm glad it's worked out that it's post-draft because you and I are not sitting here grinding on film, watching every snap of Van Ness or, Musgrave, any of these other cats.
Grant Dubose.
He does. He's looked at it. He'll tell us what's up. I think it gives us a good indicator because just walking up to our studio today, I had one of the cats that's down there working security, and this is a very secure building, say, what do you think of the draft? And you're kind of like, well, a lot of picks. And they said, what do you think of it? And he said, I don't know. I'm not that optimistic. Well, that's good to hear.
Talking about lifting your teammates up.
Yeah, no, I mean, like we all said, nobody really knows.
True.
It's all about your value, what the value is. But Greg will know. Greg will give you a good indicator of what's going on.
Well, Greg has tons of value, and we look forward to him joining us a little later in the program. Speaking of value and quality, Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about. And look, we've got other great partners that have value and quality, including LabCorp, I'm sure. But Gina Della, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, Jason, you were stuck in a car. I was stuck in a car. Different climates. I was worried that we were going to freeze to death because we didn't have gas and we did that. You last night was cozy. And do you experience different climates throughout your house? Yes, we do. I don't know about you guys. Wild temperature swings can lead to wild mood swings. Feeling that a little bit from our boy Jason today. So we're going to give our friend Gina Della from Pella a call today. You could say goodbye to that drafty house with that money just flying out your windows, leaky and creaky. No. Now you can get stunning, new and beautiful windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And today is a great day to do it. Order and you get 0% interest for 48 months. Hurry up. That offer is only good through May 31st. Certain restrictions do apply. You can visit their showroom in beautiful Brookfield, Wisconsin, or you can order online at PellaWI.com.
The showroom the experience center where we were the title tones, hoping for a return engagement of them later this year. Tausch had some nacho issues. He was going to tell us the story yesterday.
I didn't have nacho issues, but it does beg a very interesting question, is why would anyone not want to take leftovers? I'll pose that question. I'll tell you what happened to me, and I'll do that next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde. Show your excitement for the Brew Crew's return with Brewers Checking from Associated Bank. You'll get a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, and VIP treatment with Express Check-In through the Associated Bank gate. And for the ultimate all-inclusive game day experience for your crew, check out the Associated Bank Power Alley Group Space. Featuring a full buffet and private bar, the Power Alley overlooks left center field. And who knows, the next Brewers home run could be headed your way. Learn more today at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Looking to make an impact in your community? Consider applying to become a mentor with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County currently serves nearly 500 children and has over 200 waiting to be matched with a mentor like you. No skills are required, just a desire to make a difference in the lives of children. Make a big impact. Volunteer today at bbbsmadison.org to complete your application. That's bbbsmadison.org. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Together, we are defenders of potential.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their new patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside, no drafts. It's a game changer.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Get on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly.
Get on board. Get on board.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
This Cinco de Mayo at Pasquale's Cantina.
Wait, list the specials.
I was getting there.
You're slow.
We just started.
Maybe you did, but I've been planning this since last Cinco de Mayo. This is one of Pasquale's biggest days.
Not my first rodeo.
We're doing $5 El Jimador margaritas, $5 Herradura shots, $5 Modelo tall taps, and $5 chips and guacamole.
I sense a theme. Pasquale's Cantina, bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest.
Come celebrate with us in Middleton and Verona.
Hey, it's Stacy Bruner from Bruner Realty. People have been telling me that buying a home is nothing to joke about, so instead of telling you another real estate joke, I'm going to have somebody else do it.
Jesse Nelson here. Why did the real estate agent buy a skateboard? So he could flip it.
Come on, Jesse, this is no laughing matter.
Well, when it's time to get serious about buying or selling, that's when people should do what we did and work with you.
Contact us at BrunerRealtyInc.com. Bruner Realty, homes to appreciate.
Show me the love.
Jordan Love is in a position where the NFC, it is wide open. He is better than anyone expects. He can be a Pro Bowl quarterback.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
What if I'm far from home? Oh, brother, I will hear you call. What if I lose it all? Oh, sister, I will help you out. Oh, if the sky comes falling down for you, there's nothing in this world I wouldn't do.
All right, Tausch. Outstanding tease to end the first portion of the program.
Well, again, I know you're tired. I'm just trying to. Sometimes
the more you can do.
Sometimes you get a little irritated when I jump in and do it, but I think today I'm going to try and help. That probably is going to be the only time I do that. But
yeah, I was irritated.
I digress. So we gave Jesse a lot of grief. What? 2-3 months ago when he went to the Kohl Center, he basically took every leftover that the Kohl Center suite had to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
He didn't buy any of it. He was basically mooching in somebody's suite and wanted to take all the fruit and leftovers that he could get.
Good chicken tenders.
He ended up asking for a dolly to load the leftovers, and he could pull down to his car. So the other day we finish up. We're up in Duluth, and we finish up with our Saturday night game. Okay, and we're leaving Sunday morning. We played an early game Sunday, and then that was a deuces B. We were heading back. I ordered nachos. I looked at the menu. There's a pulled pork sandwich. There's other stuff, but I felt like I was. And nachos you get depends at the place. You can get a big plate, or you can get a smaller plate. And again, nachos should be, I believe now, need to be put on a cookie sheet with that mesh and spread out so that every chip gets it. You don't get the sogginess, or you don't get all the end of the nacho bucket where there's just nothing but chips. So Max eats. There's a bunch of all the families went. The kids sat at one table. We ate. So I got a full order of nachos. I ate a lot of the nachos. You can insert your joke here. And we get done.
You have problems with gas.
So
afterwards.
Max comes over, and he starts eating the nachos. Oh, these are really good. Okay, great. So everybody's kind of finishing up, and we want to get back to the hotel so the kids can swim before, the morning game, everything else. So, again, just heaping chicken and great crunchy nacho chips and the salsa, and it was all very good. It was a good plate of nachos. So we get to the end, and there's, again, all of the fixins, the chicken and all that stuff was gone, jalapenos. So it's basically debating, depending on if my buddies text me or call me, it was debating somewhere between 15 and 30 chips, probably on the lower end. So we get the bill. And I asked the waitress, hey, can I grab a little to-go container to put the chips in, because got a long trip home. It doesn't need to be refrigerated. If it was if there was like 2 bites of a hamburger left, I'm not grabbing it. But these were just plain old chips. Grabbed a little tub of salsa to put in there, and I thought, you know what? Max is going to get done. I know I have OCD. I ain't stopping. So I'm going to get chips so he can nibble on the chips along with the other snacks that we got in the car. And you would have thought I had just pulled the bank heist of a lifetime. Bart and two of the other dads look at me like, are you really getting a to-go box? The waitress just looked dumbfounded that you would ask for a to-go box for 15 nacho chips. Am I crazy? It's a good snack. It's easy to contain, and it ain't going bad. So, and then the other dads are giving me all this grief. So the next morning, they go to a breakfast spot, and they eat an omelet, and they leave a half-bitten piece of an egg and said, Tausch, do you want this to put in your to-go box to go back? And I thought that was incredibly IPT and out of sorts. Whose side do you guys fall on for this?
Well, first of all, I think we fall on the side of anybody making fun of you and giving you a hard time to the point that when you retell the story, you're still laughing about it.
I could not have enjoyed this more. Like, I had so many laughs. So then on the drive back, we get done. We win a hard-fought game. We win 1-0 in the championship. Max is hungrier than a bear, just like I anticipated. I'm driving through Superior, and I'm saying, we ain't stopping at this spot. We're going. So we're rolling, and he takes those. You would have thought that I had given him the Last Supper. He videoed it. I sent it over to the boys because he was so happy. He was so happy.
Thank you so much.
That he had food and these nacho chips in his bag that he was, as he was eating them, there's still leftovers still sitting in my car. That's how bountiful it was of all those chips.
Wait, what are you, 5 loaves and 2 fish? They just kept repopulating the chips?
I don't know, but it was the meal that just kept on giving.
I would assume then that your experience with the actual nacho order, if there were that many chips that weren't soggy or covered in anything, that those were left over for you to take, that's a loss in the restaurant, but a win with your snacking, right?
I couldn't believe that there was the outrage from these fellas that I would take a box full of nacho chips, unvarnished, basically nothing on them, because, again, they didn't do the chips the way I would like, where you spread it out.
That's what I'm saying.
And the amount of just, I can't believe the waitress was shocked, absolutely shocked that you would ask for this. And meanwhile, old boy is sitting there. So then I'm wondering, okay, so if I open a bag of chips and I take 3 chips, do I throw the rest of the bag out? Oh, I take a half a bite of a cousin sub. Yeah, that's no good. So I ended up I feel like teaching my son a very valuable lesson. We don't need to waste stuff. I don't care if your friends give you a ton of grief about it.
Which they did.
Oh, my God, they're still giving me grief about it.
I mean,
so are we on the same page?
Yeah, if you want
Team Tausch.
Okay.
If you want leftovers, if there are any leftovers on your plate, you are privy to take those leftovers.
All right. Now, I do want to specify. It was 15 chips or less. It was not probably the bounty of 30 chips.
Now, wait a minute.
I wanted to make sure I specified.
You just said 15 to 30.
I said about 15
now
chips.
It's 15 or less.
It's about 15.
You cut it in half.
It's not 30. I'll promise you that. It wasn't 30. But it was not 3. It was closer to 30 than it was to 3.
All I know is I want to meet the dad who left 1 bite of the omelet and asked you if he wanted it to go by.
It was pretty good. It was really funny.
Jesse, you were trying to take other people's leftovers, right? So that's a whole different arena of the to-go box.
And again, the idea that you don't have to refrigerate and it's just easy, if it had been chicken wings, I'm not taking them.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was just so dumbfounded by these fellas crushing us. Well, so I wish you could have seen the smile on Max's face in that Chevy Tahoe rolling down Highway 53. Coming from Superior through Eau Claire and all that. And the fact that he had those chips, man, it made me feel good as a dad.
So it's different when you ordered the nachos and, like, it's your order that you're taking. Because, like, we were at a Mexican restaurant a couple weeks ago, and there were extra
You're
chips
not
that we hadn't
taking the
eaten out of
chips
the
from
thing.
the buckets
now,
that they
which
give for
I don't
free.
understand
Yeah.
why, because
No,
it's not
you
like they're
don't.
throwing them back in the hopper.
I don't know
Like,
what they do
true.
with those.
Good
They
point,
refry them,
Jesse.
maybe?
Why not take the chips?
That's
So
another question. I'm not doing that.
I was getting ready to take the chips. I had like a little enchilada I was going to
Do you
take back.
take the breadsticks from Olive Garden? If
Absolutely. Like biscuits from Red Lobster, Olive Garden breadstick. You take all that stuff. That's
Not
the
as good
highlight of the
reheated.
meal. No, but still good. Like, I think leftovers are an underrated component of going out to eat. I think you should always try and capitalize on grabbing as much as you can for what you're spending these days
I would
to go
tell
out
you
to
this,
eat.
though.
Absolutely.
I would tell you this. I would think less than 15% of leftovers get eaten.
I'm going to take this home and throw it away there kind of a
That's
thing.
what happens, yeah. I don't know if that happens in your house.
highly
That's what
disagree.
Happens. That's what happens to us all the time.
I'm starting to hedge because now I'm starting to wonder just how many chips there actually were.
I said it was 15 or less.
It is starting to sound real questionable.
What if it is? What if
It's like 8.
We have video now, Tausch. We're seeing you look at your phone and start chuckling. What are they
yeah,
saying
there's
to
some
you?
funny gifts coming my way. There were less than 15 chips. Okay, I'm going to make sure I want to be clear.
Were there more than 10?
Depends who you ask.
Oh boy!
Wow.
Though, you know what? I'm not gonna quibble over details.
It's the principle
Those are your
of the thing.
chips.
Yes,
you
and
have
they
every
were
right to
good
them.
chips. Good chips, not soggy. Now, were they a day old? Yeah, they were.
Max will be talking about these chips 20 years from now.
We won a championship, and my dad brought me 8 chips to eat on the drive because he wouldn't stop for a snack at Quick Trip.
There's a lot of truth. Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth in that.
My dad is
Just
such a
imagine-
great dad. He
just-
got me 8 chips.
Just imagine if we lost. He wouldn't even gotten those chips.
I had to hold it for 5.5 hours without peeing, but at least I had my chips.
I think this should actually become a new Tauscher tradition. Every time you win a
Oh,
tournament
my
chip,
God.
you bring some chips back with you.
That's
from
a
the
really
restaurant.
good idea. That is a good idea.
Chips for a chip.
I was wondering how this segment was going to go. I can't imagine it going better, if I'm being honest with you.
I think now, looking back, the moment that I knew that this was going to be a great segment was when Tausch said, and I quote, "It made me feel good as a dad." Because I gave my son 8 chips.
Oh, boy.
Way to feed your kids, Tausch.
These other snobby dads that just, they can't have any leftovers for their kids. It's only the freshest of sushi and avocado toast. Not for our kids. Our kids going to eat old, stay old
chips. With nothing on them.
Take that, Cripsy.
Robin New Berlin says, absolutely, I take all the leftovers, especially this day and age with the prices. You go,
it's just,
Tausch.
I don't understand. I get if you're having like a pork chop or something if you don't have refrigeration over the night. But chips? So literally, these guys would they would open a bag of chips, and then immediately when they're done eating their first serving, they're just going to take those chips and fire them in a garbage can? That is the question I have. Because it's the same exact thing. Oh, boy, these Frito-Lays are great. Oh, but I'm done eating this serving, so to hell with them. I'm throwing them in the garbage.
No.
You don't just wrap them up, put them in a box, and take them in the car? I guess not.
You don't have to ask the server for a container for your 8 chips from the bag that goes into your pantry.
Joe in Manitowoc points out 15 is closer to 3 than 30, just for the record.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fluidity with this.
There is no conversational segue for this, but my cheeks hurt from smiling and laughing so much about Tausch's. This is not your problem. This was Tausch's problem, and he handled it. It is a problem if you don't get a great night's sleep, and I know that from experience last night. But it wasn't because of my mattress. You can get a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhafels, and all your sleep problems will be solved. Tempur-Pedic mattresses are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. And right now you can get a Queen Tempur-Pedic mattress with an adjustable base for just $64 a month when you use Steinhaffel's special 72-month financing. Plus, you'll get $300 in Steinhaffel's cash. So shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com. More next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Mark Tosher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
Are you dreaming of a new look? Let the pros at 5 Star Painting bring color to your world, to your interior, exterior, cabinets, and more. We make it easy with online scheduling, free on-site estimates, and a dedicated project manager on every job. Uneasy about hiring a contractor? We know, we've been there. 5 Star Painting is customer-focused and quality-driven, exceeding expectations every time. Call or visit 5starpainting.com today. 5 Star Painting, a neighborly company.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. That means the best place to look at for a new Bronco, Ford F-150, Ford Edge, Ford Escape, Ford Explorer, or any other Ford, including service on your Ford, is Metro Ford of Madison. Browse their inventory at metrofordofmadison.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially when it comes to gardening. Right now, get unbeatable deals on supplies to support your backyard bounty. Like all Livingston vegetable and flower seeds, 25% off MSRP. 32-ounce Bio Advanced Tree and Shrub Concentrate, $24.99 after mail-in rebate. Shop our selection of live flowers and plants in our outdoor garden center, now open at most locations. Plus, this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., come test drive select riding mowers and lawn tractors during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Ride and Drive event.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Stoughton Hospital and the Ortho Team Clinic. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee. So the goal for me is always to see patients who want to get back to their active lifestyle. The techniques that I use now allow patients to return back to the activities, including sports, faster than ever before.
Learn more at orthoteam.com. Jim Rutledge here to tell you about North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. North and South serves authentic wood-fired barbecue as well as savory seafood for both lunch and dinner. Whether it's North and South in DeForest, Verona, or the west side of Madison, you'll enjoy the best smart casual dining experience in the area. They also have takeout and catering options, so find your way over to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue place of Rutledge and Hamilton. They're online at eatnorthandsouth.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Join us on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
answer to the question, where's Wilde last night, was stuck on I-43 northbound, just south of Grafton. The
I feel
answer
like I'm
is
taking a lot of heat on this leftover deal.
I thought we were pretty supportive. I mean, we teased the number of chips.
You've fallen off. No, I'm not getting heat, but I think there's a lot of people that are like, a little bit. Marcus sent me a little thing, which is really funny, by the way. That's exactly what the boys were sending me.
A couple of crumbs of chips.
Like just the dust of the nachos. Hey, can I? No, I don't need a box. Just can you give me like a thimble that I can put the residue of the chips in?
But you said Max was very proud of his champion chips.
He could not have been happier to have something to eat in the car. That's the difference between when it's just me and him in the car compared to the whole crew. He knows that we're rolling. And eventually, I actually did end up stopping, though. That's a long trip.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I ended up stopping. I'm not going to get into why we ended up having to stop, but we ended up stopping, and it was a nice trip. It was a nice trip.
Didn't have enough cheese to dip those 6 chips into.
Do you change at all? Like, let's say either of your kids either has a bad ballet performance, or maybe they didn't pass the ball, had a bad attitude. And I know your kids never have that, but if they did, do you change your tone in the car ride? Because the car rides are important.
Love the car rides. I was just having this conversation with Tim Van Voren.
TVV.
One of my favorite things about parenting. Now, I do remember, and I don't remember who the recruit was, but Tony Granato and our buddy Marco Sicchi, who Marco Sicchi has his Casting for Kids event coming up later this month. But they came to a Packers training camp practice, and they had a recruit with them. And I ended up standing and talking to the three of them for a while, and he was the recruit was telling me how if he played in a bad hockey tournament, his dad, they would drive back, and it would be in complete silence the entire drive, like a 4-hour drive back.
Is that healthy or is that good?
No, I don't think it was.
Okay.
He also said that there was a time where he played poorly in a tournament, and his dad made him go and apologize to his grandparents for coming to the tournament and him not playing well.
Wow. That's tough.
So it was a really interesting conversation that he and I had, because that is different than the approach I take. But again, this kid is one of the best hockey players in the country, and I think he's sticking to his commitment to Wisconsin. And he was a really great kid. Like, I really enjoyed talking to him.
So what do you say when your kids say, "Hey, Dad, how do you think I played?" Or "How do you think I did?"
So I have a standard opening line. What'd you think? So, Sid, what'd you think?
Do you always ask that, though? Or
I do, yeah.
Is that healthy?
Sure. What'd you think? And sometimes it's, well, I wish this would have happened, that would have happened. Otherwise, it's, we played great.
What do you think? I wish I had some nachos.
I wish I had Tausch as a dad so we could get home sooner.
You could ask,
we wouldn't stop so much.
You could ask Jordan Love that after every game this year, or LaFleur. Hey, Matt, what'd you think?
If Jordan Love is driving home with me, if I'm giving him a ride, and he's young enough, I could probably ask him that. Yeah, look, I think it's important. And again, I don't have all the answers on this at all. Believe me.
We believe you.
Thank you for your service.
Nobody does.
But I think it's really important to let them talk instead of you talking to them, telling them everything they did wrong or what you think. So that's the philosophy behind. So what'd you think? Especially after basketball tournaments or soccer tournaments, and Sydney's great about that. Maddie, her endeavors are largely individual. She runs track, she does ballet, and she does gymnastics. So there's not the same team dynamic in that conversation, so it's a little bit different for me. But for you, I've been around Max a lot. He's a terrific kid. The girls both think the world of him, and Eleanor too. But I'd be curious how he is in terms of discussing his experience at a tournament. Like, do you have to ask questions, or is he just willing to just sort of share his thoughts in between bites of the 6 chips his dad has given him?
It's all mood dependent.
Yeah.
It's all mood dependent. And I've learned you try to take lessons in life. I am not over stern, and I am always honest if he asks. And usually I don't even really get – I used to what did you think, kind of your whole deal. What do you think? How do you feel you played? I don't do that anymore. I just kind of let him dictate what happens in that regard. Now, if there was an effort issue, that's the only time I ever bring anything up. And hopefully and typically that's not a case.
Right.
It's other things, but yeah.
Well, the people on the text line, Tausch, are just they're a little worried. Like, should the chips have been refrigerated?
It's a fair question. I wondered that. The good news was
when you said you had to stop in the end, like there was just some,
the
speculation.
Chips, no, I don't think that's. The funniest part of this whole thing that I left out was I sent the picture after Max did not hostage-ly take the video. He took I gave him my phone because he wanted to look some
willingly.
stuff. He was as Mike Tomlin said, he was a volunteer. He was not a hostage. As he took the video and I sent it to the boys, they said, "What did you have to do to bribe him to do that?" And I said, "We had to stop at one of the blue-roofed restaurants in the state of Wisconsin." That was kind of the not that was a bribe. That is what ended up happening.
Just out of curiosity, do we have this video available, not for public consumption on the social media channels, but perhaps privately?
Yeah, I can't. I do have it. I will show it when we get to AmFam Field next week. I will show you guys the 5 or 6 different outtakes that we have.
Just want to see how convincing he is.
Well, if you see the first 4 outtakes, you would think it's not very convincing.
Yum. These chips are good.
These are not stale. These chips are very good.
I am so lucky to have you as my dad. Thank you for your service, Dad, and for these chips.
Yeah.
You know who you can say thank you for your service to, and you don't have to fake it, is Kohler Services, who do such a great job with their renovation projects for you.
And in the spring, it's a great time. Reset, have that spring cleaning, and get a new shower. And if you're ready for a new shower this spring, Kohler Services is the spot to go. Kohler Services, a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. And when you think premium, quality Wisconsin brand, Kohler is at the top of that list. And Kohler is also the only manufacturer that offers fast professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote. Tell them that I sent you, and I'll also throw you a bag of chips. That's kswisconsin.com. Leftover chips that may be stale.
Kohler Services. They're all that and a half-eaten bag of chips. Their new tagline. We'll play some Where's Wilde next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, telling you that now is the time to call Mosquito Joe of Madison. If you're like me, you're looking forward to grilling and hanging out in the backyard this summer. Don't let Mosquito stop you. My family and I, we are so happy to have Mosquito Joe on our team. So thankful they were able to help us out last year, and we know trusting Mosquito Joe means we get to do less swatting and much more relaxing this summer. And Mosquito Joe now offers perimeter pest control to keep the ants, the stink bugs, the spiders, and other crawlers out of your house. Go to madison.mosquitojoe.com to request a quote today. That's madison.mosquitojoe.com. Outside is fun again when you go with Mosquito Joe.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. With the NFL draft in the rearview mirror, 2 former Badgers who didn't get drafted are getting their first opportunities in the NFL. Offensive lineman Tyler Beach is signed with the Houston Texans as an undrafted free agent, and safety John Torchio has 2 scheduled tryouts, the first of which with former teammate Joe Tippmann's new team, the New York Jets. If the Jets do not sign Torchio after his tryout, he will have a second tryout with the Tennessee Titans. Continued coverage on Badgers and the draft over at ESPNWisconsin.com.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Medicine Money Guy Christian Finfrock here. Struggling to understand retirement planning, life insurance policies, or managing your wealth? Listen to my show every Saturday at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN or call me right now at 208-1800 for a complimentary consultation.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Your friend could tell you to go to TLC Laser Eye Centers for LASIK. But when your eye doctor tells you to go to TLC Laser Eye Centers for LASIK, you book your consultation. TLC has performed over 2.3 million LASIK procedures nationally, and that includes treatment for over 10,000 doctors. LASIK takes minutes, with most patients back to normal activities the next day. So come see why TLC Laser Eye Centers is the doctor's choice for LASIK.
Right now, TLC is offering $1,000 off their Wavelight laser when treated in May. That's $500 off per eye. So call 888-TLC-2020 or visit saveontlc.com. That's saveontlc.com. The doctor's choice for LASIK. Must mention this promotion and be treated in May of 2023 to qualify. $1,000 off for both eyes on standard Wavelight price. $500 off for one eye. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See details at saveontlc.com.
Ben Bruss here for my favorite racetrack in North America, and that is Road America. Race fans, it's time to make your summer plans for fast family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America. Experience 9 major races from vintage weekends to high-thrill NASCAR racing at the best NASCAR track in America. Bring the entire family for more affordable fun with on-site camping, free parking, and most of all, free admission for kids 16 and younger. See the full race schedule at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's national park of speed.
Saturday on ESPN Radio.
The Rosarena to right field, and it's gone!
It's a showdown in the AL East when the New York Yankees head to the Trop to face the first-place Tampa Bay Rays. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
The dog days are over. The dog days are done. The horses are coming, so you better run. Run fast for your mother, run fast for your father. Run for your children, for your sisters and brothers. Leave all your love behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. The dog days are over. The dog days are done.
Let's play a little Where's Wilde from the previous week of shows.
Since he often saves his best material for other shows,
I don't believe that this is about money for Roger.
we're bringing the other shows to us.
You know what? He should have some sort of say.
Or are we?
I think they're betting on Aaron Rodgers caving.
It's time to play Where's Wilde?
This will be the last day that we hear that open.
What do you mean?
We're going to update it.
Oh.
Talking about Roger Strong, we have moved on from that guy.
That's actually, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, we are moving on.
Nobody, and by the way, Jason, the New York Jets caved. Rodgers caved a couple years ago. The Jets caved. Here we go.
Where's Wilde is the game we haven't played in a while, Tausch, because you won a couple of times, so we thought we were making it too easy. So remember the rules. Where did Jason say things on the ESPN Wisconsin airwaves?
So only ESPN Wisconsin.
It had to air on ESPN Wisconsin.
Not my favorite Chicago show that I am their insider.
Correct.
Waddle and Sylvie.
Not Waddle and Sylvie.
Okay.
That does not count.
Cap and Hood.
Right.
Okay.
Not WTMJ.
Okay.
ESPN
Could be
Wisconsin.
a national radio show, though, like Freddie and Fitzsimmons.
Are applicable.
You wouldn't go on Freddie and Fitz. That's my show.
Here is...
No, I never would do that.
Oh, boy.
Wilde clip number 1.
All I know is I get a lot of grief on this show for always hedging. The Packers, without a doubt, hedged on Jordan Love. And it was the right decision to do it. I have no problem with them hedging on him. But let's call it what it is. It's definitely a hedge.
Where's Wilde?
So I know he said that on this show. Like, I know he did.
Plus some sketchy sound adjusting.
Yeah.
I think.
Who would give you grief? Does Jen, Gabe, and Chewy give you grief?
No, just you.
No, Homer gives you grief, too.
Not for hedging.
That's true. I'm going to say Scalzo and Brust.
Scalzo and Brust, weekdays 4 to 6 on ESPN.
I feel like
Wisconsin.
the answer's always Rutledge and Hamilton with you.
Jason?
I think that was on this show. I think you doctored the audio.
Wait, he couldn't have doctored the audio. That's not how he does things. That's not classic.
I doctored the audio. Wilde Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin. And Tausch is bothered.
No, it's really irritating. Why would you doctor the audio?
Because otherwise it's too obvious if he says it on this show.
I'm hitting like 30% in this game.
You've won 2 times in a row.
Put you in the Hall of Fame.
I said it was on our show. I know you said it on this show, but that audio stunk.
Well, you thought
I
too
thought
much?
you were in the car driving down to ballet with the
Or
girls.
stopped,
and
as it were, yeah.
How's my Wilde here? I'm down with the girls. I'm driving to ballet. I got stuck in traffic.
He's
I was on with
lashing out
Scalzo, and my voice, the
he is
radio was
lashing out.
good. That was garbage. Garbanzo, Jesse.
Do I finish sentences?
Yes, you do this all
like
the time.
that?
I was with the girls, and I had Paula with me, and we did this, and we did that. Yeah, you do that all the time. It's cute.
I'm sorry that you're irritated.
Jesse,
by the
is that
doctoring of the audio.
Is that not Wildeisms that he does then?
In fairness,
funny.
I think he does it so there continues to be forward motion so that you don't jump in and take over.
I'm not arguing that. I have never said I don't jump in and interrupt. But I also don't finish my sentences like this.
I don't know.
I hope he gets the next one right.
I don't know if I
Don't
want.
doctor the video. What? We already are worried about artificial intelligence, and if you pull a Wilde GPT AI version, I'm walking off the set today. If you pull an AI GPT Jason Wilde quote, I'm going to go to the golf course early. That's what I'm going to do. I hope you do it.
Jesse.
Test me.
Come on, Jesse, do it. Do it!
Here's clip number 2.
I personally, philosophically, think that very rarely are kickers worth a draft pick. And one that's coming off of an ACL who has hit barely over 50% of his 50 or 40 or more yard field goal attempts makes me nervous, if I'm being honest. And obviously Rich Bisaccia has a lot of sway in that building now, and he had Daniel Carlson as his kicker in Vegas, and now he's got Daniel's younger brother. And Goody made no bones about it that this is the guy Rich Bisaccia basically wanted, and they drafted him. And maybe he'll be fine, but there are some reasons to pause and say, not so sure about this.
Where's Wilde?
That's Wilde and Tausch yesterday.
Look, I don't care how irritated you are that Jesse did that. The fact that it led to your imitation of me is more than sufficient payoff. Text from Bill Johnson, our teammate in Beaver Dam. His Wilde is exaggerated, but dead on and hilarious.
It's you. With the girls.
I didn't know that I did that, but I guess I do.
Go to the grocery store. We'll stop at Fleet Farm. We'll do drop the package in the back of the car. Microphone's breaking. I don't know what else. Was I right, Jesse, or was I wrong?
If you're looking for a video clip you'd like to post on social media today, I think you found it.
It was not on Wilde and Tausch.
Yeah, this game sucks.
Jason, any guesses, or are we punting on this?
I'm not really sure. I have to think about it some more. I'm going to say Homer and Tony, but it might be Rutledge and Hamilton, or it could be Jet, Gabe, and Chewy.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Sunday mornings, 10 to noon.
Do I really sound like that? Now I'm going to be self-conscious.
This is why I normally do this stuff at the end of the show. It gives you a day you forget about it. Doing it in the first hour was a risk, but it felt like it needed to be done.
Let's get on the board with this last one.
It's tomato, right? Like defensive end, outside linebacker, they're basically the same when you're in a sub package. So I think this pick really makes sense. They have to have somebody that can get after the quarterback, though. And if you look at their defense, I know people like to point out that they simplified things and made it a little bit simpler and easier for their defense. They also had to blitz more after Rashawn Gary got hurt. They needed to generate pass rush without him. Adding Van Ness certainly gives them a guy that's capable of that.
Where's Wilde?
Draft night coverage with Matzik.
Okay, draft night coverage on ESPN Milwaukee with Greg Matzik and company is the guest from Tausch. Jason?
Draft night coverage with the Great Dane Huddle on ESPN Madison.
It was the Great Dane Huddle.
Had I just said draft night coverage, would you have given it to me?
I would have asked you to be more specific.
Okay.
The Great Dane Huddle, draft night coverage with Alex Strofe, Brad Nortman, and Tarek Sala.
Norty! Yeah, I got a new nickname, Norty.
It's pretty good.
That's the end of the 9 o'clock hour. Greg Cosell scheduled to appear. The best part, now that we have video for everyone to enjoy, is the lifting of the head with the accentuating the end of the sentences when Tausch does his imitation of me, which I'm not sure about that part of it, but I am getting private texts that say, well done. So congratulations, you've earned yourself 6 nacho chips to take home with you after the show. The 10 o'clock hour will begin.
Dad.
I'm so proud of you, son! The 10 o'clock hour will begin with Greg Cosell from NFL Films. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Clinical trials are essential to advancing medications, vaccines, and devices. LabCorp has been conducting clinical trials for over 40 years and has helped bring many of the medications we use today to market. You may be compensated up to $19,250 for time and participation in trials. At LabCorp, your safety is the #1 priority. Learn more about how you can help advance the future of medicine at LabCorpClinicalTrials.com. That's LabCorpClinicalTrials.com.
Hey, this is Eric Name of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Tough night for the Milwaukee Brewers, falling 7-1 on the road against the Colorado Rockies and stop one of their 6-game West Coast road trip. Brewers are 0-2 to start the trip. Game 3 of the series this afternoon at Coors Field. 2:10 first pitch, Wade Miley on the mound trying to help the Crew avoid the sweep at the hands of the Rockies. Brewers will then travel to San Francisco where they start a 3-game weekend set tomorrow night. Meanwhile, in Green Bay, plenty of reactions and analysis to the 13 members of the 2023 Packers draft class over at ESPNWisconsin.com, including from ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky, and some national perspective, including ESPN NFL analyst Marcus Spears, weighing in on how Jordan Love's development will be helped by some of the players that were drafted this year in the 2nd and 3rd round by the Green and Gold. NBA playoffs continue tonight on 100.5 ESPN. The Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors coverage starts at 7:30 following Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch begins now. And Tausch, you know, there's a lot of people that like to fancy themselves as film connoisseurs, right? It's like a cottage industry now. Everybody's taking clips and putting them on social media. But this guy's the OG. He's been our go-to guy on this sort of stuff for a long time. That's why he's at NFL Films. That's why we love to have him whenever he's able to join us. So to break down the Packers draft, and I'm guessing we're going to ask a Jordan Love question at some juncture, it is our buddy Greg Cosell on Wilde Tausch. Greg, good morning. How are you today?
Jason, how are you? Good to be with you guys.
Hey, is it crazy to you? I know you're not like super crazy social media guy. I know you retweet when you're appearing on stuff, but when you go on there and you see how many folks have kind of taken a page out of your playbook and that's what they're doing now, do you feel good about how you started a revolution, or are you like, hey, these people are hacking my gig, man?
Nah, you know what? To be honest, Jason, I just do what I do. I've been doing it for a long time. I really don't worry about, what other people do or how they go about doing it. Obviously, I don't live under a rock, so I see what other people do. But I pretty much just come to my office at Films, watch tape, grind away, do my detailed notes and evaluations, and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, the Packers did the same thing with their film to get ready for the 2023 NFL Draft, and they ended up with 13 players coming out of their draft. They stood pat with a bunch of their picks on day 3. There are some really interesting players in the Packers draft class. I know you take the view of the entire league. We're focused on Green Bay. But when you look at the Packers draft, what jumped out at you, having watched so much film of so many of these prospects?
Well, the only way I can do it, Jason, is based on my evaluation of the players. I don't get caught up in they could have gotten this guy earlier or later. Who knows about that stuff? So I can only tell you based on my evaluation. Now, I couldn't see all the guys because I'm only one person. So I saw Van Ness, Musgrave, Reed, Kraft, Wooden, Wicks, and that's it. So I saw all those guys. Okay. I love the 2 tight ends. I think they're both really, really good prospects. I guess you guys have been discussing what that means for their offense when you draft tight ends. Are they going to play more with 12 personnel and 2 tight ends? Is that the plan? I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. But I think you have 2 guys. Musgrave is a vertical guy. He's got some juice to him. He can attack all 3 levels. Kraft is, to me, kind of a complete multi-dimensional tight end. He came from the same school as Dallas Goedert, who's probably a top 5 tight end in the NFL. He's not quite at Goddard's level, but he's got similar. I think he can be used in similar ways. So those 2 guys I really liked. Obviously, they took Van Ness. Van Ness is a really intriguing guy. There's a sense that he's an ascending player. He can line up anywhere in your defensive front. He's really strong. He's powerful. He's strong. That's his game. Watching him, there was a part of me that thought he was 272 at the combine. There's a part of me that thought, and I know other people have thought the same thing, but I thought if he could gain 15, 20 pounds, which a lot of people think he can, he could almost be stylistically a J.J. Watt kind of player because he's super strong.
Woo! That is a high-end compliment because I think the knock on him is that he's all about strength. And I guess when you evaluate, and we all saw the highlight clip of him bull rushing Northwestern's left tackle Skoronski and making a play. When you look at him, do you think that he's got that wiggle and that you think that those are traits that he can get to? Or it's always great when you have something that you can kind of put your hat on with that strength. He's got big-time strength.
Big-time strength.
Do you think he can adapt and bring some of that other stuff to the table, or is it's always going to be rooted in that strength? Do you think he's got that next gear that he can get to?
And again, that comparison was not apples to apples in the sense that I think he's going to be exactly J.J. Watt. I'm talking about in how he can be deployed. In other words, all across the defensive front, be a power player. I don't think I don't think in terms of the exact quickness that he'll have what J.J. Watt had, but I think that's the way he can be deployed within the context of a defensive front. He's going to need to become there's going to be needed a larger arsenal of moves for him, but not only did he blow back Skoronski, he also had speed to power rushes against Paris Johnson, who was the 6th pick in the draft. He just shoved him right back in the pocket, but he had great plays both on the outside and on the inside, and he's that kind of player. We'll see. I mean, I think this was a kid who played hockey and didn't get to football till a little later in his life, and he's clearly, to me, will be an ascending player.
Yeah, I think we all hope that is the case. When you looked at Reed, there's been what did you see from him, and how do you think the skill? You went through the tight ends already. What do you think of the wideouts that Green Bay brought in with as many open spots to work with Dobbs and with Christian Watson? How did you think they did in their evaluation of those guys they picked?
Yeah, Reed's one of those guys. He's got a tremendous natural quickness to his movement. He can get vertical. He had really good separation quickness. That was a really strong trait, and that's really important in the NFL. I thought that he can create explosive plays. He has great ball tracking ability. He made some contested catches, even though he's not big. I think you can use him in multiple ways. He can line up inside, outside. I liked Jaden Reed. Now, he put up better numbers in 2021 when Michigan State's offense was much, much better, as you guys know, being in Big Ten country. So, but again, that has nothing to do with his traits and his attributes. The kid who I find most fascinating is the Virginia wideout Wicks, because I watched him last summer from 2021, and I thought he was a really, really good prospect. And then this year, their entire offense just fell apart. And due to that, he did not put up the same numbers. He clearly fell in the minds of many in terms of where he was drafted. But I thought, based on 2021, that he was a really intriguing prospect. He's got size, he's got physicality, he's a good athlete, he's not a burner, and he didn't run well at all, which hurt him, but the tape showed more play speed on tape than time speed. I thought that he could be a really good prospect, and obviously the year turned out poorly, and then the testing numbers didn't turn out what I'm sure he hoped for, but the tape in 2021 was really good.
So, first of all, I haven't had the greatest day. Tausch has been imitating what my voice sounds like, which is hurting my feelings, but it's pretty accurate. It's been a rough day for me, but it's all worth it now because this is the guy that I spent some time talking about and thinking about his potential. And the fact that you view him this way, that's exciting for me. So that's a win for me. I am curious, though, when you do your evaluations, you're doing so many players. So the fact that you're able to think back, I just think this is fantastic. Because think about what...
Jason, I just make this up as I go.
Yeah,
man, you're good at it.
You're a fake. Yes, nice. But think about what Wicks went through. And this is why your point about 2021 is so important. Not only do they have a coaching change and an offensive system change, but then they have the tragedy at the end of that season, and their season is canceled. When they picked him, and then when I looked at some of the – because I did not grind the way you do before the draft. When I looked at some of him after they picked him, I was like, that 2021 tape is impressive. So that's something Packers fans should be excited about, that you view him in that way. I am curious, though, and this is more of an extrapolation – we're looking now at a draft class last year where they took Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Samori Toure, now another draft class of 3 young wide receivers. When you put them all together with a young quarterback, I know your expertise is breaking the film down and not necessarily making predictions, but that seems like a recipe for some real ups and downs if you're the Green Bay Packers offense, doesn't it?
I think that's a fair statement. I think they're looking for them to grow together, and when you do that, there are ups and downs. And anybody, by the way, in my opinion, who says they know exactly what Jordan Love is, I don't see how you could make that statement. The guy hasn't played enough football in the NFL to make a fair evaluation. Now, the Packers coaching staff, they're with him every day. They'll have a sense of what he is, but until a guy plays week in and week out and goes through good performances, bad performances, good plays, bad plays, deals with critical situations, you really don't know. So I'm sure they see it right now as, hey, there'll be some ups, there'll be some downs. Fortunately, we have a running game we hope we can rely on to help ease all that. But yeah, there's, without question, Jason, you're 100% right. That's totally fair.
So, Greg, when you look back and you kind of remember when you evaluated Jordan Love and then the limited amount of time, obviously played 10 or 15 snaps against Philadelphia, had the game against Kansas City, what do you see are his strengths, and what kind of just give us your evaluation of what you've seen in the limited amount of times Jordan Love has played?
Clearly has traits to be a quality starter. He's got good size. He throws the ball extremely well. He has mobility. The number one issue with Jordan Love, and it is for many young quarterbacks, not all, but many young quarterbacks, is basically what I call elimination and isolation. I guess a lot of people call it processing. How well does he see the field? Can he eliminate what's not there and isolate what is there within the timing and structure of the play? Can he do that at the right speed? Because it all happens fast, as you know. So that's really what you're waiting to see on a play-to-play basis. And then the other factor that's involved that goes along with all this is ball placement. Can he be precise with his ball location? You can't miss layups in this league, and then you also have to make some difficult throws, obviously, as well, but you can't miss the layup. So can his ball location be precise on the throws that are there? And there is a relative term in the NFL. So those are the kinds of things we're waiting to find out on a play-to-play basis. We don't really know the answer to those questions.
All right, Greg, two more quick things for you because we know you've got a lot on your plate. One, I want to go back to Tucker Kraft for a second before we talk a little more about Love, and that is when you're going through that tape, and I am not going to besmirch South Dakota State, and not just because one of Tausch's best friends coached there and now is the head coach at Idaho, but it is a different level. Even a very high, good level of that level. So when you're evaluating him, how do you kind of process that part of it in terms of who he's going against as opposed to, say, facing defenders in the SEC?
I don't think there's any quantifiable way to know that for sure. So you look at his traits and you try to think, just based on my experience of having studied NFL tape since 1992, I just try to think, okay, how do his traits transition? Obviously he's not playing against the same level of player in college as other guys, nor the same level that he'll get to in the NFL. You had the same issue with Christian Watson. I mean, Christian Watson came out of the same school, and he ran by everybody in college. It seemed like he ran by people in the NFL too. So all you can do is try to extrapolate, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but I thought he had really good traits based on his tape.
And the other thing, I want to go back to yours and my conversation about all these young receivers in Love, because something that Matt LaFleur said to us after the draft was over was that they had been looking at film of the San Francisco 49ers and how Shanahan had designed that offense to make Brock Purdy, as a rookie quarterback, not only a rookie, but Mr. Irrelevant quarterback, be productive. And what I wanted to kind of raise my hand and say, yeah, are you going to add Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle to the mix as well, and, oh, by the way, the best defense in the league to help Jordan too, which obviously they can't do. When you look at the scheme the Packers run, one of the questions that Matt LaFleur says he keeps hearing is, hey, are you excited to run your offense instead of the Aaron Rodgers offense? When you go back to what you've seen through all the film you've watched of all the different variations of what these offenses do, is this the type of scheme that allows a young quarterback, even one in his third year that's barely played, to be more successful than, say, some other offensive schemes where maybe it's a little bit tougher to be good when you're young?
Well, I think clearly we know with Shanahan, and LaFleur comes from that background, yes, it is, because what you're essentially trying to do is, through the use of personnel formations, you get a feel for what the defense is going to do based on film study, and based on all that, you hope to define the reads and the throws for the quarterback as clearly as you possibly can. Now, when it's 3rd and 9, that's harder to do, obviously, but when it's normal down and distance situations, you hope through personnel formation formation, motions, all those factors that go into offensive football, that things can be clearly defined, that you in a sense know with pretty strong predictability how the defense will respond, and therefore the quarterback can be very, very decisive and correct in where he's delivering the football.
All right, Greg, this isn't the first time you've been on the show, so you're not going to be surprised when I tell you that I lied, and I do have one more question. I'm wondering what you saw when you watched Aaron Rodgers on film last year. That has been obviously a big question here. The Packers move on from him. He did break his thumb in London. Did you see appreciable slippage in his game when you watched him throughout last season, and do you think that's an indicator of him falling off or an indicator of what he was dealing with his thumb?
I can't speak to how the thumb impacted him at all. I can only tell you that I thought he was not quite as precisely accurate last year, as consistently so as we know him to be, because you can make the argument that Aaron Rodgers is the best thrower of the football we've ever seen. So I would say he wasn't quite that guy a year ago, and I thought he didn't quite move as well. The second part could be a function of just getting older, so that we don't know either. We'll see how he is this year. But the thumb part, that's really hard for me to answer. Maybe it affected him on some throws and didn't affect him on others. Obviously, he made great throws as well, but he wasn't quite as precisely accurate as we know him to be.
I say this with all the kindness in my heart. You're not getting any younger either, but there is no slippage in your game, Greg Cosell. We appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
That is the great Greg Cosell.
There's no slippage in your game.
Shut up.
Did you
he's
hear
as
him
good as it gets.
Did you hear him say chips fall where they
I
may
did,
early in
and
that conversation?
I couldn't stop laughing. I'm glad that I could mute my mic.
We'll talk a little bit about what Greg talked about coming up. I will say this, and again, I don't know nearly as much as he does, but the fact that he said that about Wilde Tausch, I'm guessing that there were a lot of people,
I think we found your guy. You've been raving about him, and now Cosell kind of co-signed on to your loan for Wicks as being the guy.
The old Cosell cosign.
Yeah, the Cosell cosign. Yeah.
We'll talk more about that next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home of the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Stoughton Health provides comprehensive and compassionate care to Stoughton community and the entire Madison area. From our sports rehab facilities in Oregon and Stoughton to our renowned ortho team with Dr. Ravel, Stoughton Health can help. Learn more at StoughtonHealth.com.
Hi, I'm Medicine Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
This is royalty. Do I bow? What does one do when the king comes to town? He chose us. And now I know what it's like to be the beautiful cheerleader. I've never been the beautiful cheerleader. I've never been the beautiful anything. The prettiest cheerleader is always the one who winds up with the quarterback, right? Especially when the quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know how to feel, but I'm going to have a really good time finding out.
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Marco Sicchi's 5th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament, Saturday, May 20th on the Madison Chain of Lakes to benefit the American Family Children's Hospital and the UW Carbone Cancer Center. Check in at the Alliant Energy Center at 7 a.m. Fishing starts at 8, happy hour at 2:30, then dinner and auction at 3:30. It's a great day for fishing and fundraising on Saturday, May 20th. Register now and check out the online auction at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is in full swing from Bree Stevens Field. The Flamingos' next home game is Thursday, May 18th at 7 p.m., only 4 days after Mother's Day. To celebrate, Forward Madison has the perfect ticket package for any mom in your life. Get a ticket, belt bag, can of wine, and bumper stickers starting at just $33. To purchase this package or single game tickets, head to ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball. Heated National League West rivals go head-to-head in San Diego when Freddie Freeman and the Los Angeles Dodgers face Manny Machado and the Padres. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Thanks again to NFL Films' Greg Cosell for making time for us. If you missed any of that conversation or you missed it in its entirety, you will want to go back and listen on Wisconsin On Demand, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Thanks to David and his team for supporting the show and for supporting Wisconsin On Demand. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. One thing that I heard that got my attention was this about Lucas Van Ness and a comp to a player that is near and dear to all Wisconsin football fans' hearts.
He's really strong. He's powerful. He's strong. That's his game. Watching him, there was a part of me that thought he was 272 at the combine. There's a part of me that thought, and I know other people have thought the same thing, but I thought if he could gain 15, 20 pounds, which a lot of people think he can, he could almost be stylistically a J.J. Watt kind of player because he's super strong.
Now, I don't think that's the Packers' intent.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we don't want J.J.
Yeah, we don't
Watt.
want to have J.J. Watt's career. What are you talking about?
I don't think it's their intent for him to put on another 15 to 20 pounds. I think they'd like to keep him as an edge rusher. That was the indication we got, because there's other guys that they do want to put weight on.
It's an interesting question because to me, when you're as strong as he is, and what does he call himself? Hercules?
Hercules, yeah.
Hercules is strong. You want to push pockets. And with today's day and age, you know, the edge rush is obviously very important, but with more and more quarterbacks that are runners of the football, one of the things that you're seeing more of are these mush rushes, and the job of a Nick Bosa or a Max Crosby, these DNs, you also can't get washed by because it leaves running lanes for the quarterbacks. A push in the middle and getting guards back on their heels and into the lap of the quarterback is very important too. Kenny Clark is really good. They need another guy in there. So for at least for the beginning part, I don't think it's a bad idea if you get Rashawn Gary back. He's strong like bull. Preston Smith is more slithery, and he's plays on an edge more. I don't think that is a bad idea. But when he said that, I had not even thought of that comp. And then you start looking at it. J.J. Watt was the 12th pick in the draft. His whole thing was, man, is he strong? Packer fans couldn't be. I mean, if that happens, oh boy. Goody will get a statue.
And he'll be called a genius beyond this show. Look, there's also, on the flip side of the analysis of Luke Van Ness, is that he is largely all strength and that he needs to develop more of his pass rush game. But that was Greg Cosell's point, because as he pointed out, there's a guy who was playing hockey like full time in addition to playing high school football all the way up to his senior year.
And he also mentioned, who's the big tackle from Ohio State that went 6 overall?
Paris Johnson Jr.
So this isn't the case where you're talking about, oh, he's beating up on Missouri State. He is beating elite top 10 pick offensive linemen that will be starting for football teams. And they had a hard time handling his power.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of O-linemen that are going to be a lot worse than those two. And I think we always get caught up in looking at weaknesses of players. Well, he doesn't have this. Why Belichick, now obviously a little of the luster's come off, but what Belichick was great at is saying, you know what, just tell me what you can do, and I'm going to put you in a position to do it. That's where Joe Barry's got to say, listen, man, I know you're not going to be slithery, but you're going to be able to bull anybody that they put out there. And Rashawn Gary's the same way. Rashawn Gary started doing a little bit more, having more moves, but the reason he was so successful is he's strong like a bull. And this just kind of reiterates the fact that I want somebody that I know can do something at an NFL level. I know. I don't know anything about Lucas Van Ness, other than the fact I know he's going to bull somebody, and he is going to be able to use his power. And as an offensive lineman, now all of a sudden I'm sitting there like, I got to anchor. If I don't anchor, I can't hold up. And that gives you a lot more options to do the other stuff that you're going to get better at. And he's going to always, he's not going to get weaker. He's 20, what is he, 22 years old?
21.
21? Huh. He's not even, his elevator's way down here. He's got, his physical strength is only going to get higher. So it got me more excited listening to someone that watched extensive footage like Greg has to make a comp, even though he was pulling back from the comp right away, because he knows that's going to get thrown up in Soundgraph and probably out of context.
And how did that go for you earlier in the week?
It's gotten better. I just think that should excite Packer fans when you hear that, because people are saying, well, you know, they drafted him a little higher than they should have. I really love the fact when you draft a player to our team and you know you're going to get this production regardless. That is your floor. He is a set floor drop ceiling guy. That drop ceiling can move a bunch. That's exciting.
And his dad was IPT on draft night. That's what we know about him to this point. I'm very curious, by the way. We will talk to him tomorrow.
That J.J. Watt comp. I think you have to bring that up. I was comping him to Aaron Campman, and Aaron Campman, Packer Hall of Famer, he had a great career. J.J. Watt is an NFL guy, NFL Hall of Famer. That is bold. I'm not going there, but I think it's exciting someone that's watched as much tape would even comp that. That's pretty awesome.
Does that affect how many more or fewer sacks you are going to predict for Lucas Van Ness to put quarterbacks on their butts? during the course of the 2023 season.
It is not, but I'll tell you something. I just looked because I'm thinking, it's Thursday night. What is today, May 4th? Is today May 4th or tomorrow?
May the 4th.
So it's that whole Star Wars thing?
Yeah, maybe.
They have LeBron James with, like, the lightsaber. And then Anthony Davis is, who's the real hairy dude?
Chewbacca?
He's got Anthony Davis as Chewbacca. Anthony Davis put up like a 40-piece nug the other night. They got him for 26.5. LeBron for 25.5.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's funky. Go ahead and look. I am going to go more for both of those and more for Steph at 30.5 tonight. That's what I'm going to do. You guys pick what fits your best, but make sure it's Prize Picks Daily Fantasy Sports made easy. You can get 2 to 6 players. I'm going to go with a 3-piece nug tonight. I'm going to go with those 3. I'm going to go more on all. I'll probably lose, but it's still going to be fun. I'm not competing against anybody else, just you and Prize Picks' projections. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. Just download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. And reminder, use the promo code WI. You put 100 in, Prize Picks throws another 100. All of a sudden, you got 200 to play with on May 4th. How sweet is that?
Greg Cosell talked about Jordan Love, but he's not the only one talking about him. We'll be talking about him next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
This is Greeny.
Hey, Greeny, I made a graphic from the Aaron Rodgers Open of the show. If you want to collab on it, I can accept it from your page. What does that mean?
Collab is when you invite someone to share a post with you.
Isn't that what posting something is in the first place? I'm inviting everyone to share it?
In this case, ESPN and you posting in conjunction.
I just wrote back. I love it. How do I do that?
Well, that's a good start.
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
We tend not to think about right now, but right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you. Donate at V.org, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
The happy hour at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton is still Madison's best kept secret, so shh. From delicious appetizers to amazing drinks, and of course the ambiance provided by that horseshoe bar makes Ruth's Chris Steakhouse a must-go-to. From cocktails with friends, networking happy hours, or just treating the family, and everything in between. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton has everything you're looking for. So the next time you're looking to treat yourself, go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. And remember, it's Madison's best kept secret. Shh.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
LeBron James and the Lakers steal home court advantage away from the Warriors with a huge Game 1 win in San Francisco. How will Golden State respond? Coverage begins tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
I'm at a payphone trying to go home. All of my change I spent on you. Where have the times gone, baby? It's so wrong. Where are the plans we made for two? If happy ever
We'll get to Jordan Love a little bit later in the program. Because it is really nice, Tausch. I mean, look, you've played in the league 11 years. You know the game. I think I know the game, but I don't pretend to know the game better than I actually do, I think. I don't talk like this, but sometimes you say that I do. But when there's a player in a draft class, and again, we don't know how he's going to pan out. We all 13 of these guys, we don't know how they're going to pan out. But when there's a guy in a draft class that you kind of like I did last year with Romeo Dobbs at the rookie camp, and you see encouraging signs, whether it's either watching him on video or watching him in person at practice. It's nice when somebody who knows more than you do sees similar things. Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt listening to Greg Cosell talk about Tay Wicks, which he goes by Tay. The last guy that went by Tay around here.
Let's give him 17. Let's swap out Anders Carlson and give him 17.
Yeah. By the way, before we talk more about Wicks, where are we on the jersey decisions that get made? They only have so many numbers. We all understand that. Some get held out, some don't. There was a time last year when Ramiz Ahmed was wearing number 17. We know they're not going to issue 12. They didn't issue 4. They did give out 65 after a year in abeyance.
How dare they? Yeah.
Hasn't been a Lane Taylor did you proud.
Sure.
After that, not quite as much. How do you kind of view where things stand with the jersey thing?
I don't. I think it's a nothing burger.
Okay.
There's only so many numbers. I mean, what do you want to be, the Celtics, and you got 500 numbers retired, and guys got to go like 000? I understand the hesitancy to give it away right away. Give it a little bit of room to breathe, but you have 90 guys. How many numbers are retired? 8 or 9?
Not even that many, I don't think. I think
So
it's only 5.
You only have 5 or 6 numbers that you can't give out. So it is what it is. I think you want to do right, and I think it is nice if you give a year where Devontae's gone and he has been a monster player for you. Don't give it to like a practice squad guy, but
practice squad kicker, perhaps.
Yeah, but again, I don't think Devontae's losing a ton of sleep over. Obviously, Clay Matthews was upset.
Yeah.
When he left, and they threw it to Rashawn Gary
right away.
At least Rashawn Gary's a first-round pick. I just think that it should be a big nothing burger, but I understand feelings can get in the way because you want to believe that you're irreplaceable, even though you find out real quick in this league that you are.
I do like the making a number a legacy number like they did with 36, and we'll see if our guy, Anthony Johnson Jr., can live up to that number. But I would like to see Tay Wicks in 17. I won't. But I do like what I heard from Greg Cosell talking about Wicks just a moment ago.
The kid who I find most fascinating is the Virginia wideout Wicks, because I watched him last summer from 2021, and I thought he was a really, really good prospect. And then this year, their entire offense just fell apart. And due to that, he did not put up the same numbers. He clearly fell in the minds of many in terms of where he was drafted. But I thought based on 2021, that he was a really intriguing prospect. He's got size, he's got physicality, he's a good athlete, he's not a burner, and he didn't run well at all, which hurt him, but the tape showed more play speed on tape than time speed. I thought that he could be a really good prospect, and obviously the year turned out poorly, and then the testing numbers didn't turn out what I'm sure he hoped for, but the tape in 2021 was really good.
And this also speaks to, Tausch, the extra at-bats, more swings at the plate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're looking at Watson, Dobbs, Toure, and now Reed, Dubose, and Wicks. So you've got 6 wide receivers you've picked. That's a lot of if you're, let's say you're wrong on Reed, and I have no idea if they're wrong on Reed. Obviously, Greg Cosell said some very good things about him as well. But if you are, you've got another swing at the plate that you took a few rounds later that maybe you hit it out of the park on, like you kind of, on a small sample size, seem to have done with Romeo Dobbs in the 4th round a year ago.
Yeah, that's why this. We all know it's an inexact science. And some guys that you think are going to be home runs, it doesn't work out for a lot of reasons. That's why getting 13 picks and having undrafted guys, you bring in a lot of youth. And it's not only bringing in a lot of youth, it's also giving a lot of opportunities to the youth. And that's where I think Green Bay is in a really good spot, and you'll get a chance. I don't know if there's been a time when you've been more fired up to kind of get a look at some of these, because there's so many rookies and so many players that are going to be needed to play. In the past, it's been, all right, you got 3 or 4 spots where these young guys are going to play meaningful snaps. This year, you can take a look and say there's probably double or triple that of how many guys are going to get these opportunities and be key players in the rotation for this year's team, because you're going younger. So to have 13 guys and to have a bunch of players that have fallen for whatever reasons, injuries, you mentioned Tay with all of the stuff that happened at Virginia and his numbers, and that's all great. That gives you a player with bigger potential than maybe you normally would get at that spot, and now you just have to see it unfold, and you'll get a really good idea watching these guys this weekend who is really somebody that you're going to get excited about and who's, maybe he's just a guy in NFL terms.
I have my first question for Tucker Kraft when he arrives. You mentioned that you and Max, when it turned out that the 6 nacho chips were insufficient to fill him up, that you made a stop at the restaurant with the blue roof, which we know as Culver's. Tucker Kraft must be driving from South Dakota to
I've made that trip.
Green Bay.
Let me tell you something. Even I had to make a stop.
Wait, from where? Oh, my God. Never mind.
Jesse, you got our hopes up.
It doesn't work. Just a second. Do your thing.
Oh, you'd like me to now filibuster so you could play your South Dakota theme song?
Oh, boy.
This would have been great if it had been executed.
Yeah, well,
there's
it's about
really
a 9-hour trip, I think, from, is it Billings?
No, that's Montana.
No, where is South Dakota State? We Brookings. It's Brookings, which
correct.
is very close.
Well done. Right on time.
That was very very poorly executed.
Yes, it was.
You played it at the wrong time. The button didn't work.
Dude, I wanted to jump in when you were talking about the rookies, but you were having good points, and I knew that would shut you down immediately, but you did it 3 times in the lead up to that.
I don't remember doing that. I'll have to take your word for it.
I was watching film, and I don't watch as much as Greg, but and it's just now it's like just ingratiated in my head. So
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I don't know if you do either.
There really is a Culver's at every Wisconsin exit, and I'm here for it. So I am very eager to ask Tucker Kraft how many he actually stopped
How many times
at.
do you call him Tucker Carlson?
I'm hoping for 0.
No way. Prize Picks More on that projection.
TK? He needs a nickname.
Tuck.
Crafty.
It's another option.
The big cheese.
I'm not going to use any of those, but we need something because you're right. I'm very concerned about that possibility. All right, we need to play some trivia.
Jackrabbit.
Jesse, what's today's category?
South Dakota trivia.
No, it's not South Dakota trivia. So for those who can see me, I'm going to see if I can do this now here on the video stream. So for those who can see me, this is a lightsaber polo that our buddy Matt Hamilton gifted to me earlier this year.
I
See
can't see that.
It's all lightsabers.
Yeah, talking to the microphone for us to hear you.
It's a tough segment for me. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars trivia. Wheelhouse category for this panel. Am I right?
Yeah, Tausch and I will help you with your answers because we're such experts on Star Wars like Tausch is on Wisconsin geography.
I picked Star Wars trivia because it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Also, you guys can't correct me if you don't know if an answer's right. That's I'm not
true.
Star Wars.
I honestly don't know if there's a more annoying day. Like, there's May Day, there's Flag. There's a lot of great days.
Is way more annoying.
No, this is more annoying to me. April Fools, at least you could throw a good joke. Here, May the 4th be with you, and then people are doing that whole Spock thing and everything else.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Yeah, where it's like
Spock.
Spock is Star Trek.
The finger deal
Are
and
you
the
trying
ears.
to start a fight? Because you're going to start a fight among the nerds, Tausch.
I feel like you're a Star Wars guy.
A big Star Wars guy.
That's exactly
And I've
what
never
I-
watched a single episode of Star Trek in my life.
So are Tausch and I taking this segment off?
Yeah, I'll take this one off.
No, you're asking the questions.
We have to go caller 4 today, then. It's May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
There you have it. Caller 4. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. We will play trivia, or at least Jesse will. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tosher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Big trailers and big opportunities at Stoughton Trailers. Immediate openings at the Broadhead, Evansville, and Stoughton locations. Assemblers, forklift drivers, and more. Apply at stojobs.com. With the NFL draft in the rearview mirror, 2 former Badgers who didn't get drafted are getting their first opportunities in the NFL. Offensive lineman Tyler Beach is signed with the Houston Texans as an undrafted free agent, and safety John Torchio has 2 scheduled tryouts, the first of which with former teammate Joe Tippmann's new team, the New York Jets. If the Jets do not sign Torchio after his tryout, he will have a second tryout with the Tennessee Titans. Continued coverage on Badgers and Draft over at ESPNWisconsin.com.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
When you open up a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, you're opening up more than just doors. You're unlocking potential. The potential to do your own thing, be your own boss, and steer your own success. Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van owners live, work, and play out their dreams, no matter how far off the beaten path it takes them. Because they know there's nothing like taking your own route and reawakening that spirit of adventure that lies within all of us. With 16 body types, your choice of a gas or diesel engine, and thousands of ways to customize, a Sprinter van is capable and versatile enough to help drive your ambitions, wherever you want to take them. So go ahead. Now's the time. Unlock your potential inside a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter.
Get on board.
The water
water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly.
Get on board. Get on board.
Looking to make an impact in your community? Consider applying to become a mentor with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County currently serves nearly 500 children and has over 200 waiting to be matched with a mentor like you. No skills are required, just a desire to make a difference in the lives of children. Make a big impact. Volunteer today at bbbsmadison.org to complete your application. That's bbbsmadison.org. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Together, we are defenders of potential.
Are you looking for an exciting new career opportunity in Dane County? Look no further. Phase Electric is now hiring electricians of all experience levels. Phase Electric provides competitive top pay, 40-hour work weeks, and full benefit packages for both commercial and residential electricians. To learn more, visit phaseelectric.com. That's P-H-A-Z-E electric.com. Work with a company that prides themselves on being a phase above the competition. And remember, in order to be the best, you need to work with the best.
Hey, this is Craig Karmazin, founder of Good Karma Brands. Join Kyle Wallace and me every Sunday morning from 10 to noon for Sunday Karma here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
I don't want to besmirch anyone. And I'm not going to. I am going to say that I have not seen any of the Star Wars movies. I'm not saying that as a brag. It's just the truth.
What? How is that bragging?
Because I think there are some people that wear that as a badge of honor. Like, I'm not a nerd like Jesse is, kind of a thing. I just have never seen them. Now, I have Disney Plus, so I could.
I haven't had time. I wasn't able to watch Star Wars. I didn't like the new versions.
I'm more of a Star Trek guy.
I'm now imagining
Spock.
I'm imagining Jason reading the opening yellow text on every Star Wars.
In a galaxy far, far away. I just want to say I appreciate you guys. You've elevated my mood and my energy level because I started very low. And now it's very high, and now we're ready for trivia. But here was what my point was going to be. If you were to have a trivia contest that involved Star Wars questions, I would not call because I'm not setting myself up for success, right?
Well, you want to compete, though.
Well, that's what Elijah in the Wisconsin Dells wants to do. So, Jesse, you're telling me that this is not the area of expertise for him. Is that correct?
I said, Elijah, are you a Star Wars guy? He said, not at all.
All right, good luck to you. Elijah, good morning. May the 4th be with you, my friend.
Thank you. Good morning.
Let me tell you something, and this is not to put added pressure on Elijah, but these are two absolute gimmies to start.
Oh, no.
Well, they are.
Why do you
Well, I'm just telling Elijah, he's probably coming in, he's a little nervous, he doesn't know anything about Star Wars. There are two layups. As Greg Cosell said, you got to make the layups, Elijah, so here we go.
A princess layup?
Not bad. Not bad.
Not good, but not bad.
All right, which of these is not the real name of a Star Wars spin-off movie? Is it Rogue One, Solo, or Obi-Wan Shining Moment? That's pretty good.
What was the first?
All right, so it was Rogue One, Solo, or Obi-Wan Shining Moment.
Which one is not?
Third one.
Yeah!
Oh,
woo! Jesse was sweating in that lightsaber shirt that he's got. He was sweating that you were going to get that wrong.
I just want to say that moments after you said they were two gimmies and layups, It sounded very much like Elijah was not going to get Obi-Wan shining moments.
By the way, people miss layups. They do.
All right, well,
Not
you got
Elijah.
that one. Elijah, let's see if you can score on another. Buddy, here. What is the name of the Jedi Master who helps train Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars trilogy? Is that Jedi Master Yoda, Jar Jar Binks, or Chewbacca?
Yoda.
Josh was
Elijah,
right.
All right.
He's
You're
making
right.
his layups. Now he's got to hit a 3-ball. He's got to hit a 3-ball to get it done, and I think
This
he
is
can.
like a half-court shot.
Yeah, this
kidding.
is
You know
like
what?
an 80
For
footer.
not being a Star Wars guy, getting 3 of 4 entries, even if he doesn't get this one.
Pretty. I think
it's gonna be a good
Elijah's.
showing.
Yes, I would agree.
Well, I
Boy,
watched Star Wars, but that was 30 years ago.
I'm with you. Yeah, I agree, and I don't remember anything that happened yesterday. So, spoiler alert! Rey, the main protagonist of the newest Star Wars trilogy movies, is revealed in Episode IX to be the granddaughter of which of these original trilogy characters?
It's Episode 9.
Well, it's IX.
IX.
Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi, Emperor Palpatine, or Darth Vader?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm going to guess second one.
Perfect week.
It's not a perfect week.
Perfect day.
Wow, for a guy who doesn't know anything about Star Wars, what a performance. Much respect. Emperor Palpatine?
Palpatine, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. The Emperor
I
guy
don't know what that
with the
is.
laser hands. Remember the laser hands?
No,
Tausch?
the pressure was
No,
Palpatine.
you're thinking of
there,
Johnny
though.
Scissorhands.
No. No, I'm not.
I think you might be.
Elijah, you got all 4 entries, man. Well done. Congratulations, and good luck in tomorrow's drawing. We appreciate you.
Awesome. I'll be listening. Thank you, guys.
I predict Elijah wins tomorrow because Jesse's already rigged it against his boy on Monday.
Yeah, Tier 1 Tyler's
You're not even
winning.
getting a chip in
Yep.
there.
Mhm.
Oh
Can
boy,
you
just
do
got
that
4.
legally?
He shouldn't.
By definition, I put the chips in the helmet. But if I draw a 1, I might throw it back and be like, oh, slipped.
That's filthy.
Aren't you a man of integrity?
Tyler understands.
I don't know why he's such a good friend to you sometimes. I really ask myself that. That is it for the 10 o'clock hour. The 11 o'clock hour will begin with that aforementioned Jordan Love conversation and Todd McShay talking about Jordan Love. Now, I do believe Todd McShay was on in 2008 alongside Merrill Hodge discussing the greatness that was going to be Brian Brom. We all miss on things.
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
We will hear what Todd had to say next to kick off the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
We tend not to think about right now, but right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you. Donate at V.org, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norman.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by 5 Star Painting, your residential and commercial professional painters for interiors, exteriors, kitchen cabinets, decks, and fences. Check them out at 5starpainting.com. The Milwaukee Brewers fall again last night in Colorado, 7-1 at the hands of the Rockies. Brewers have dropped the first 2 games of their 6-game West Coast road trip, trying to avoid the sweep this afternoon at Coors Field. 2:10 first pitch, Wade Miley on the mound for Milwaukee. After today's game, the Brewers will get on the road and head up to San Francisco, where they'll play 3 against the Giants over the weekend. Meanwhile, football, still plenty of analysis and reactions to the Packers' 13 draft selections from over the weekend. That includes from ESPN NFL draft analyst Todd McShay, who we hear from in moments on Wilde Tausch. Also, ESPN NFL analyst Marcus Spears weighing in earlier this week, suggesting that everyone in Green Bay is rooting for Jordan Love. Check it out along with the latest from ESPN Packers reporter Rob Domofsky over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Wilde Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
O'clock hour of Wilde Tausch. Todd. Begins with Mel Kiper, actually. So Mel joined us about a week before the draft, right? Always good.
Yep.
Really insightful. Had some really good stuff that I used in some of my preview work for the State Journal as well. Really good. Really good. But when it comes to Jordan Love, he's not a Jordan Love lover. He's a Jordan Love liker. You know, thought okay of him coming out in the 2020 draft, but as he pointed out, one of his colleagues, much more in love with Love. Here's Mel Kiper with us a couple weeks ago.
I always said I liked Love, Todd loved Love. And Todd McShay had Jordan Love ranked ahead of Justin Herbert. I believe in Jordan Love as a starting quarterback. Todd thinks he's going to be phenomenal. At least he did when he came out. You have to ask Todd his opinion now. But, yeah, I think I'm hoping, and I think you should be hopeful that Jordan Love is the right man for the job, and you don't have to worry about quarterback for the next X amount of years.
So we did not ask Todd, although we could have. We already had Greg Cosell booked, and we appreciate him. But Todd is talking a lot, right, Jesse, about Jordan Love right now?
He is. He was on Greeny earlier this week where he was starting to weigh in because he happened to be there recapping the draft, which was also right after Jordan Love agreed to his extension with the Packers. So they were talking about it there on SportsCenter and all kinds of places.
Well, let's hear what Todd McShay said about how much he loves Love.
He has the physical tools. He has the mobility. He has the big arm. He can drive the ball down the field. The consistency with his accuracy and playing within the confines of an offense are kind of the two questions that we had coming out in the draft. And as you alluded to, we haven't gotten answers at the NFL level. He hasn't had enough game reps to be able to prove himself or quite honestly, to make significant improvement.
So accuracy, Tausch, I know you played right tackle in the NFL, not quarterback, but I do know one
we
of
used to throw those balls in the net, though. We'd do O-line drills, and we'd throw balls.
With those big gloves on?
I always struggled going over my left shoulder. You know how they got the 3 little bins? And my arm strength, as my shoulder got worse and more beaten down, 20 yards about where I could go. But I was good in the middle because you could put a little loft on it, and it would ba-dunk into the net.
I'm sorry, what sound did that make?
Ba-dunk.
Okay.
You get almost like a bank shot.
So our buddy Matt Flynn, who joins us from time to time, who as a rookie in 2008 beat out Brian Brom, who Todd McShay liked coming out in the draft, to be the backup to Aaron Rodgers, who was ascending to the starting job.
Yeah, so Jason, question, how, and we all get stuff wrong. I mean, you're giving opinions, you're not hedging, some of us, and you're going to get some stuff, but when you're that wrong, like how much do we take from a QB analysis standpoint when you're that wrong?
I'm sure he's had a number of guys right since then, right? I would say this, when Mel Kiper says that Todd McShay liked Jordan Love more than he liked Justin Herbert coming out, that did make my antenna go up a little bit.
But in fairness, you loved Oregon. We watched him beat our Wisconsin Badgers in the Rose Bowl.
We did.
And I thought accuracy was a big issue for him. I thought he could run. I thought he was good, but I also was looking at it thinking, it's going to be, and you know what? Everybody's crowning him because he looks the part, and he is a talent. I don't want to take that away from him, but let's slow the roll, like trying to lump him in with Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
he's not.
I'm not putting him in that group. But what I was going to say about our buddy Matt Flynn was that he arrived from LSU, and I think Matt would tell you this, and accuracy and arm strength were not his strong suit. That's why he lasted till the 7th round. Moxie was his suit. But, he got with Tom Clements, and his accuracy and his mechanics really improved. And he was spinning it, as Aaron Rodgers likes to say, not that long after. And that's why he beat Brian Brom out, and that's why he had a long career in the NFL and got a big contract to then be not the starter in Seattle and have Russell Wilson take the job. But my point is that I don't know how much Jordan Love's accuracy has improved, but I do think that's something that you can get better at.
I do. I mean, there's no question you can improve that. Your footwork will help lead to improving that. Mm-hmm. But, man, I always think you can make those improvements, but you revert back to what you know. Do you remember when Tim Tebow, and I'm not comparing Tim Tebow to, but you remember when Tim Tebow came out and they said, well, we're going to change his throwing motion. They said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. They did. He was pretty accurate with the football, but he was pretty accurate at Cal. So I think Jordan Love, you just see he was so raw, and you kept hearing Goody and LaFleur the entire time saying that he's not ready, that he has to improve. He's got to work on those things. And now he's had 3 years in this system to improve those things. And I think if you look at what you saw in a very limited preseason and the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, you saw a guy that had a better command of what was going on. That is just as important. When you know what you're doing and you know where you're going with the football, all of a sudden you can set up and get your feet there. You know you're making your decision, because all of the other stuff, if you don't have the arm strength and you don't have the skills, you don't get drafted in the first round. And it wasn't just Green Bay. Green Bay moved back up because they thought, probably rightfully so, somebody else was going to nab him if they didn't move up to get him.
They were at 30.
So they moved 4 spots, and they gave up a 4th-round pick. Okay, but they did that because of his skill set. Where you start seeing the strides that a Justin Herbert makes and any young quarterback is when that light goes on, and you should have a really good idea about 80% of the time where the ball is going before you snap it. There's obviously, you're going to get fooled. There's going to be scenarios, but you should know based on the coverage, the front, hey, ball's going here 80% of the time. And if you can complete 70 to 75% of those layups, as Greg Cosell said, that's when you start building off of that, and then you make those splash plays where you're out of the pocket with your feet when things break down. If a right tackle gets beat and you got to bust out of it earlier and you have to make adjustments. That's what separates a guy from the next guy. And then when you can do that all the time, that's when you become Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. So for Jordan Love, it's all about the processing and making those decisions and understanding what he's seeing and feeling comfortable. And there is no doubt in my mind he felt that way last year. How is he going to do that when he gets thrown more defensive looks and people start picking at what his weaknesses are and what he needs to do on third down and all of those things? That's when you see what his next level's at. I want to see him make a bunch of layups in preseason and in training camp, and then I want to start seeing him come back. Let's see, he's making free throws. Then he goes to the three-point line. Then he goes to the half-court line. That's where you're at with quarterback, and I think the processing information that Cosell was talking about is where you're going to see Jordan Love make the steps to becoming the quarterback everybody hopes he can be.
Are you sneaking imitations of me into your Jordan Love evaluation? Is that what happened there?
No, you know how sometimes when you spend enough time with somebody, you start, even though you don't want to, you jump in there. That was me just going through my process of listing things in a certain frame of voice.
All right, I am eager to see what he looks like as well. But to your point, I do think that because we used to have these conversations with Dom Capers all the time, because Dom Capers certainly had his shortcomings as a defensive coordinator, and he certainly got a lot of criticism from the fan base. But you know one thing that he always did? He ate rookie and young quarterbacks for lunch. And I will be curious to see if other coordinators throughout the league are able to do that.
Good thing Joe Barry's the D coordinator here, so Jordan doesn't have to deal with that. Am I right?
Yes, it couldn't be more right.
No, it is. It's an interesting question that you should ask LaFleur, maybe in early July or late July when training camp just gets started, is how do you balance building that confidence up and exposing Jordan to all of the stuff? Because what you want to do, it's a very interesting question as a coaching staff. How much of this do you want to just go through your basic, especially as young as you are on offense? You would hope. Defense almost always is ahead of the offense. Last year, the reason we were all mean at times, everybody was so raving about the Packers defense because they were beating the brakes off the Packers offense with a 18-year NFL quarterback. How are you going to handle that with all of this youth on offense? Because what you don't want to do is every day these guys go into the film room and you just say, oh, another day where the defense beat our brakes in. There's that balance that a coaching staff has to figure out how much vanilla basic coverage you see and how much do we want to expose Jordan to a bunch of different things that are going to challenge not only him, but also these receivers and tight ends trying to figure out, all right, what do I do with this cut? That is going to be an interesting dynamic to watch as training camp gets going.
We will talk more about what Todd McShay had to say about Jordan Love because this is, look, we spent a lot of time on the draft today, but the biggest question of all facing the Green Bay Packers in 2023 is how good is their quarterback going to be? And that's not a question we've asked most years over the last 3 decades. The other question that we ask is, are you a little bit hefty?
Yeah.
Because if so, LabCorp is looking for you.
They are, and right now, if you're looking for a little bit of cash, whether you just bought a new home, you're looking to put in some new windows, just go to the grocery store. You need a little cash. LabCorp has a variety of open trials that will fit your schedule. Right now they have studies. Healthy adults ages 18 to 60 with a BMI, body mass index, of 18 to 32. That study involves 1 stay, 8 nights, 7 follow-up visits. Woo! You'd be compensated $10,328. $10,300. If you're looking for a quick $10,000, head on over to LabCorp right now and check that out. And if you're also looking, there's another trial for healthy overweight males and females ages 18 to 55. Females must be of non-childbearing potential with a body mass index a little heftier of 30 to 39.9. That study, 1 stay, 6 nights with 2 follow-up visits. And you can receive up to $500 per qualified participant. Go to LabCorpClinicalTrials.com. That is LabCorpClinicalTrials.com.
Albert Breer of the MMQB has the escalators from the Jordan Love contract that Jesse has passed along. We will go over those and go over more of Todd McShay's evaluation of Love. Next, it's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
When you're injured, call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 30 years and proudly partnering with Wilde Tausch. Miss any of the show? Find it with Wisconsin On Demand. Presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their new patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside, no drafts. It's a game changer.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, this is Brian Posick, and I can't wait for Mark Osiki's 5th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament, Saturday, May 20th on the Madison Chain of Lakes to benefit the American Family Children's Hospital and the UW Carbone Cancer Center. Check in at the Alliant Energy Center at 7 a.m. Fishing starts at 8, happy hour at 2:30, then dinner and auction at 3:30. It's a great day for fishing and fundraising on Saturday, May 20th. Register now and check out the online auction at castingforkids.org. That's casting4kids.org.
Join the Prairie Athletic Club and spring forward your membership today. Hi, it's Sarah Tauscher. The PAC is the best place to get your family moving this year. Not a member? Not a problem. The PAC welcomes guests daily. Come see for yourself why the PAC is voted best place to work out and best thing for kids to do year after year. Save now until the end of May when you join the PAC. Visit prairieathletic.com to join the PAC today. That's prairieathletic.com.
Stoughton Health provides comprehensive and compassionate care to Stoughton community and the entire Madison area. From our sports rehab facilities in Oregon and Stoughton to our renowned ortho team with Dr. Ravel, Stoughton Health can help. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
I've been dreaming about the West Coast. Found some places that I don't know. I see your signs for California. Take a shape for something warmer. I've been dreaming about the West Coast.
want to hear what Todd McShay had to say because I did not hear this. I was busy watching wall-to-wall coverage of the countdown to the coronation of King Charles III.
Is that happening this weekend or something?
Saturday morning.
So.
Yeah.
I know you've been
All right,
watching
I found
it very
something.
closely.
You know what? I'd rather have May 4th, the
Than
4th, be with
coronation
you
day?
than this coronation.
You can watch Star Wars Saturday morning
No,
instead of it.
I'm good.
So, Jesse, you
Are you
sent
really
this.
interested in this coronation?
No, not at all.
Well, you knew about it.
Because we
Good
have
Morning
Good Morning
America.
America,
Good Morning
on in our
America,
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love the Royals.
They have devoted a significant amount of time to coverage of that. Much like we spent a significant amount of time covering the Jordan Love extension. I personally believe this to be more of a replacement of the fifth-year option. And Albert Breer of the MMQB has tracked down the incentives in this deal. Now, as was reported yesterday, I think Rob Domofsky had this, $5.5 million guaranteed base salary for 2024. Okay? So he's guaranteed that. And then there are all these escalators for his performance in 2023 that will add to his pay in 2024. You with me so far, Tausch?
Yeah, I'm paying attention. I'm kind of reading through it as you're going through it.
All right, so we start. He'll make an extra $500,000 if he plays 65% of the offensive snaps.
Oh,
God, that number sounds
65%.
familiar to me.
You don't say.
Interesting, isn't it?
Now, so he does that. Bing, $500,000. He makes an extra $1 million if he makes the Pro Bowl. Okay? So $500,000 gets him to $6 million if he gets 65% of the snaps. $7 million if he also goes to the Pro Bowl. Okay? Now remember, $20.3 million was the 2024 quarterback fifth-year option. Okay? Now, here's how we can make some more money for him. Starting with the 65% of the snaps and making the playoffs another $500,000. Making the playoffs and winning a playoff game, another $500,000. 65% playing time and win the conference title game, another $1 million.
$1 million.
65% playing time and winning the Super Bowl
That'd
in
be pretty good.
2023.
That'd be pretty good.
Another $1 million.
They have to give a draft pick to the Jets if they win the Super Bowl.
So that's another $3 million he can make. So now we got him up to $10 million if he wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now, $500,000 if you have 65% playing time and you're top 10 in the league in passer rating.
Well, that'd be good.
$500,000 more if he's also in the top 10 of completion percentage.
That's good, too.
Another $500,000 if he's in the top 10 of touchdown passes.
Nice. That's good.
And another $500,000 if he's in the top 10 in passing yards. So that's another $2 million.
Oh, just throwing money around. Okay.
So now we got him up to $12 million if he
Yeah.
does all these things. Again, the position of this show, by the way, officially, is to not root against him. So I may be inflecting my voice a little bit with the unrealistic incentives that may be at work here.
Let me summarize again, as I did when it came out. This is a win-win. It is a monster win for the Green Bay Packers. And for Jordan Love, I'm putting $10 million, regardless of what happens. I don't hit 65%. I don't do anything. I made another $10 million redshirting till I play. So I have been able to put away about $20 million before I've taken any before I've started a game non-COVID related. Okay? which is fantastic for him. And the bottom line, all these incentives and all this stuff, it's interesting. You still are getting back to the point where it's that fifth-year option of $20.3 million. In essence, make a little bit more if you win a world championship. But let me tell you a little something. Here's the give and take on this, which is in a contract negotiation, it's great for both sides. The Green Bay Packers, if he wins a Super Bowl or gets to an AFC championship game or wins the division and gets the percentage where he's at and all these incentives, he is going to get broke off. He's going to get paid. Okay?
Sure.
He is going to get that long-term deal that, everybody was kind of – and if he stinks, the Packers are out of this. They owe him $5.5 million guaranteed next year. Split that with the signing bonus, and they can get away from it if they want, if he's no good. They could not have done that with the $20 million fifth-year option. So
sure.
That's their win, which is a big win. Because let me tell you something. They want to pay Jordan Love. They want to see him prove it. And if he does, he's going to earn a bunch of incentives in 2024, and he's going to get a new contract. So Jordan took some of the risk off the table. He's getting some cash. If he's no good, he walks away. He's going to go try to find another job somewhere else, but he's got $20 million. And if he is good to great, he's going to be getting top quarterback dollar in the league. And this contract wins because it mitigates a lot of the risk Green Bay would have had to say, here's $20 million, even though we've never seen you play. So, again, as I said, Tuesday, Goody and Russ Ball, you guys are geniuses. You found a way that's something that was palatable to Jordan Love and his representatives. And, by the way, Jordan Love is a good football player. Jordan Love going to get paid. So it's a win-win.
How would you respond to a text on the private talk and text line from someone who is definitely no Aaron Rodgers fan saying the Packers bet against Love with this deal?
No, they didn't. They were smart in their business propositions. They got prove it to us. And Jordan is saying, I need to prove it, and thank you. I also need to be paid to play because I'm going out there. He's getting a little bit, but he hasn't proven anything in this league yet. And it's wise beyond belief for Russ and for Goody to say, listen, man, we believe in you because we dumped Aaron Rodgers. We have given you the keys to the castle. Now it's up to you to get in there, and it's up to you what you're going to do when you're in the castle. Because then if you do, we'll start selling you rooms in that castle. We'll give you rooms, and we'll pay you to do it.
We'll call Kohler Services to
we'll
redo
get you
the
a bunch of new showers
in
in their chaoswisconsin.com. That's where they're at. So anyone that's trying to spin this, that this is anything, the Packers just executed Business 101. They executed this beautifully. They want and are giving their quarterback everything that they possibly can wisely, and will be more than happy to pay every incentive in that contract, because that means Jordan Love was a Pro Bowler. He took his team to the playoffs. He wins a Super Bowl. And then we will back up said Brinks truck and pay you what Lamar Jackson and what those guys all just got. Because, like Joey Flacco and everybody else, they had to prove it. Jordan Love has to prove it. And the Packers gave them a little sprinkler to say, you're our quarterback. Now go earn some more.
Have they built a team that is most likely going to allow him, even if he plays well, to hit most of these incentives?
That's up to Jordan and Matt LaFleur.
And Joe Barry. His chances of hitting some of these incentives are predicated on whether their defense is worth a damn or not.
I think obviously the completion percentage and Pro Bowl and all of the yardage, as far as winning playoff games and everything else, yeah, of course it is. And I don't know what else you want him to do. You can make a good argument that offensively they left him in a very high learning curve.
Yes, the chance of doing these things a few years down the road, I don't disagree with. I also would say that when I look at the numbers that are involved in this, I would have liked to have gotten more if I was Jordan Love. Hey, I take you to a Super Bowl? That's worth $1 million?
Because he knows with his representatives, I go to a Super Bowl, I ain't taking another snap till I get a monster deal. That's pretty
absolutely.
obvious. So that part, don't get caught up in all that. All you can look at this and say is kudos to Goody and to Russ.
All
and
right,
the front
they're
office.
geniuses, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, they are.
My point is this: when I look at these
in this
incentives,
case.
when I look at these incentives, and then I think to how they structured incentives for Preston Smith, how they structured incentives for Mason Crosby. Both those players took pay cuts. And this is not exactly apples to apples, but it is definitely a pay cut compared to getting the fifth-year option. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, for sure it is.
Okay?
Yes.
They gave those veteran players, and look, despite his lack of playing time, he is a fourth-year veteran. He is not a rookie. He is not a draft pick.
First-year starting quarterback.
First-year starting quarterback, I agree. But what I'm saying is those two veteran guys got incentives that allowed them to earn back every penny of their pay cut. Mason Crosby did. To some degree, not to the degree of getting everything back, but Preston Smith earned back a lot of his money. These escalators do not, even if he hits all of them, he still doesn't get as much, and I understand they would happily assign him to an extension, but this is structured in a way that he doesn't even get all the money that he would have gotten as a fifth-year option.
Jason, and the point is, he hasn't proven anything in this league. He has to prove it. Mason Crosby and those guys had down years, and they had to earn that money back. The NFL is a prove-it-to-me league every year. So you utilize your leverage. That's why I wanted Jordan Love to get the fifth-year option, because it's money that it would have put a lot of pressure on Green Bay to do it. Green Bay wisely went a different route, gave enough that he was willing to concede some of that money and earn it.
I'm not disagreeing with you on any of your assessment of this being brilliant or any of that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that they have put escalators in for him that I don't think they've built a team that's going to give him a chance to attain them no matter how well he plays.
Okay.
I think he could play like Rodgers did. Aaron Rodgers played pretty darn well in 2008. Agreed? You were on the team. You were protecting him.
I think he did, yeah.
And you went 6-10.
That wasn't great, no.
You lost a bunch of close games.
We did.
And so all I'm saying is that for all the words we have heard from Goody about how much he believes in him, he has not put his money where his mouth is of his belief.
But, Jason, that's not how this league works.
I understand that's not how this works. I'm just, again, if you are rooting for Jordan Love, and everyone here is, right? Even I am. I want him to succeed. You have not fiscally put numbers in place for him to reap the benefits of playing well when you have escalators that are team success related.
Here's the difference.
Just like the trade for Aaron Rodgers, you didn't want him to be team based.
Jason,
if you were the Packers, right?
Here's the deal. The Packers are running a business. It is a business too.
Yes.
They've given Jason.
Sure.
They've also given him $20 million without taking a meaningful snap.
They chose to draft him when they drafted him.
I understand that, but they were able to manipulate and maneuver their situation to benefit them. That's what the business is about. If Jordan Love gets leverage and has a great season, he should use his leverage. Just like Mason Crosby.
So if he has a good year, they don't make the playoffs, but let's say he has
and he holds out.
Let's say he has the same year Rodgers had. That's the question I want to ask, is if he has the same year as Rodgers had in 08, because Rodgers got an extension 7 games into 08.
Yep.
If he has the same year Rodgers had in 08 and has to go into 2024 with this contract with whichever escalators he manages, because I don't think Rodgers was in the top 10 of passer rating or completion percentage or whatever else, you would be fully on board with Jordan holding out, even if they go 6-11.
If he
plays that,
let me
same
tell you
season.
something. If he has a really good season and is our guy, and everybody knows it, he is not going to play for $15 million.
Yeah, I hope he should hold out.
Well, let's slow our roll. The Packers did a very. I understand, but the Packers did something very pertinent and smart, and with the leverage that they have, they did it. Now, if they believe he's the quarterback and he believes he's the quarterback, they are not going to have him play on a 1-year deal for $15 million. So all of that, while we want to speculate,
they had Devontae Adams playing a 1-year deal
and hypothesize. Well, it was a whole different story. It wasn't that it was the last paid player in the league at his position. That was not the case. So don't try to make that comp. That's not fair either. They wisely have said, let's see where we're at. Let's mitigate our risk, and then we'll get a better understanding of where we're at with Jordan after this season. And then if Jordan Love balls out, and even if he hits all of these incentives and gets the contract up to that, he should not play for a $15 million a year deal. And he understands that, and the Packers do, because, the Packers say, well, you signed this. They did. You know what the Packers can do if he stinks? They can cut him, and they can pay him that $5 million that they guaranteed him for next year and say, deuces be. These contracts aren't worth the paper they're written on. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell me about Loch LaBelle.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm going to go and play a little golf this afternoon. And when I want to go and get away from everything, get away from all this Jordan Love talk and Aaron Rodgers talk, I'm going to head down to Loch LaBelle, an American treasure in Oconomowoc, this golf season at the club at Loch LaBelle. It is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin with a rich history you'll feel once you arrive. The club at Loch LaBelle is open to the public. Schedule your tee time today at club@lochlabelle.com. Again, you head down 45 minutes from Milwaukee, 45 minutes from Madison, and then you get out there. You got the Rivalry Pub. You got the putting green. You got just all this space. It feels like you're in the middle of nowhere. And then when you're done, all you got to do is drive back 45 minutes either way. A historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to club@lochlabelle.com to start your journey.
Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Key, tell me if you and Max know what some of these acronyms mean, like Gen Z's slang. You ready? TNTL.
TNTL.
Trying not to laugh. YNK.
YNK.
Well,
I might have
you know, or something like that? No?
I mean, I don't.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. North and South serves authentic wood-fired barbecue as well as savory seafood for both lunch and dinner. Whether it's North and South in DeForest, Verona, or the west side of Madison, you'll enjoy the best smart casual dining experience in the area. They also have takeout and catering options, so find your way over to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue place of Rutledge and Hamilton. They're online at eatnorthandsouth.com.
Let's face it, we put our moms through a lot. I know I did. There's no way you should let Mother's Day slip by this year. Thank your mom or your wife with farm fresh flowers from Bouqs. That's short for bouquets. I got you guys 20% off, so you can thank your moms too. My mom was my best friend. She's not here anymore, but I made sure every single Mother's Day to send her great flowers. You can give your mom regular Mom's Day flowers or make her day spectacular with flowers from Bouqs. Here's what I love about them. Bouqs is different. Their flowers are sourced directly from the best farms and cut fresh, so they last way longer. Mother's Day is May 14th, and don't let it sneak by. Order your Bouqs now, and while you're there, check out their flower subscription so Mom feels your love all year long. Go to Books.com and use promo code KEY for 20% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code KEY.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Show me the love.
Jordan Love is in a position where the NFC, it is wide open. He is better than anyone expects. He can be a Pro Bowl quarterback.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
To decide that the things that I tried were in my life just to get high on. When I sit alone, come get a little known, but I need more than myself this time. Step from the road to the sea to the sky, and I do believe that we.
Before we get to Wonelli, just a quick thank you to Paula for bringing. I asked for a snack. She brought me some chips. There's four or five.
That is
four or five in this tiny little bowl. Yeah.
Such a good father.
Any salsa with that or anything?
No, just dry.
You don't even have
this is
salsa with
awful. I hate this.
Dry chips. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde Tausch.
Saw a fun article from ESPN Jets reporter Rich Cimini last night. Aaron Rodgers' new teammates on the New York Jets have spent a week getting to know him on and off the field, and they don't mind admitting they've been awed by his presence.
Ah, interesting.
Quincy Williams said he was, quote, starstruck upon seeing his new quarterback for the first time. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson did a double take, saying, quote, this is something 20 years from now, 30 years from now, I'll tell my kids I played with Aaron Rodgers.
We'll see how the season goes, but yeah.
The guard whose name I don't know, Elijah Vera Tucker, said it's a, quote, surreal feeling.
Interesting, because we all know that that's the case. Aaron Rodgers has been a star in this league for 15 years. He's the face. He has been the face of the league. And everybody knows that, that's why I always say these veteran guys like Favre and Rodgers, when they lose their guys, everybody looks at them differently. And it takes a while to break down that wall, that demystification process that we talked about. That you go through and do some of these things, and all of a sudden, you're not looking at Aaron Rodgers MVP. You're looking at QB1, number 8, my teammate. And I think I have a good idea Jason is going to get into why him not coming to those OTAs and minicamp last year to help speed up that demystification process and not showing up the end of July and having Aaron Rodgers be there and all of these Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson, oh my God, that's Aaron Rodgers. Having that process sped up and do it in May or June would have been beneficial to the Green Bay Packers. I might be wrong, but I feel like that's where this is going.
So annoying. So annoying. This is exactly the kind of stuff that you do during the off-season program so these guys can get this out of their system. Because eventually you're going to be the guy who's barking at them for running the wrong routes. So yeah, do all the fun stuff now. Get to know each other and how many times did I say demystify during the offseason?
More than I wanted. Yeah. I'm telling you, I can remember. It was around this time. I drove up, took Rosendale up to Lambeau.
Not sure why.
And this was the first minicamp, not rookie minicamp, minicamp. And here I walk in, and I was deer in the headlight. Oh, my God, there's Favre, Frankie Winters, Leroy Butler, all these guys I walk. And there is a process. And then you know what happens after a day or two? Vonnie Holiday beats you for a pass rush. You're getting screamed at by Larry Bechtel, and reality slaps you in the face. Like, I better get my blank together. Stop looking like a deer in the headlights. Get demystification quick. But there's still, first time I went golfing, like, there is a process that all of a sudden you become teammates instead of having it be, ooh. And next thing you know, you're putting fart cushions under them and you're firing banana pies at their face, and it just becomes you're a teammate. That's what you hope for.
It's kind of hard. Sometimes I find myself looking over at practice and seeing him throw a ball and thinking, man, that's A-Rod. Just wait, I'm not done. I mean, and as a different person, I mean, I grew up watching him play, so it's very shocking for me to be catching passes from him. But Aaron came up to me a couple times, told me I had run a good route.
Aw, that's cute.
One more. Obviously, definitely something I've got to get used to. I mean, it's still crazy to be here and playing with him. Those are the Packers rookies from the 2 days they got to spend with him last year.
Ooh. Seems like that could be a story for Jason J. Wilde.
Again, he does a lot of things right. I understand he is a divisive figure among the fan base.
You think when you're writing his book, if you end up being his book writer, that you put this piece of it in there and he would come back and say, you know, I screwed up. I should have came there in the year of 2022.
Yeah, our relationship was never about me getting a book deal out of it, but I hope he does write a book in which he is unvarnishedly honest, whether it's with me or someone else.
That will be... You start delving into all old boys stuff, there is a lot to unpack.
I will, since, again, when I talk about my conversations with him, I like to give my side only. There were times, though, throughout the last 18 years when he would say, that'll be one for the book, to which I reply, you mean the book that we're never going to write, or if we write it, no one is ever going to publish it, and it'll just be us knowing all these things? Because there are some unbelievable stories from the last 18 years that I don't think he will ever tell. As opposed to you, who tells us almost every day how much you love Coors Light.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day out on the links. Coors Light will be a part of that day. Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it is made to chill. And the mountains are going to be baby blue because its cold-activated bottles and cans are chilled to perfection when those mountains are blue. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I got to tell you, 6 chips don't last very long. No wonder you had to stop.
It's amazing. I think I got 3 left in the car from the 6 that I had.
6 or 30.
Somewhere around there. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Looking for your next spot out with family or friends? Head to one of Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company's 4 locations in the Madison area. Whether you're on the east side, downtown, in Fitchburg, or at Hilldale, you're sure to enjoy one of Madison's favorite traditions. Head to GreatDanePub.com to find the location near you. Always local, always welcoming, and always committed to the craft. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com. With the NFL draft in the rearview mirror, 2 former Badgers who didn't get drafted are getting their first opportunities in the NFL. Offensive lineman Tyler Beach has signed with the Houston Texans as an undrafted free agent, and safety John Torchio has 2 scheduled tryouts, the first of which with former teammate Joe Tippmann's new team, the New York Jets. If the Jets do not sign Torchio after his tryout, he will have a second tryout with the Tennessee Titans. Continued coverage on Badgers and the draft over at ESPNWisconsin.com.
Badger Minutes on ESPN Wisconsin are brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule an appointment online today at PellaWI.com.
Stoughton Health provides comprehensive and compassionate care to Stoughton community and the entire Madison area. From our sports rehab facilities in Oregon and Stoughton to our renowned ortho team with Dr. Ravel, Stoughton Health can help. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Are you dreaming of a new look? Let the pros at 5 Star Painting bring color to your world, to your interior, exterior, cabinets, and more. We make it easy with online scheduling, free on-site estimates, and a dedicated project manager on every job. Uneasy about hiring a contractor? We know, we've been there. 5 Star Painting is customer-focused and quality-driven, exceeding expectations every time. Call or visit 5starpainting.com today. 5 Star Painting, a neighborly company.
Ben Brust from Scalzo and Brust to tell you about one of my favorite teams in the area, Zimbrick European. For over 3 years, I've trusted them with my car buying process, and I'm never going anywhere else. From Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, their pre-owned and Sprinter vans, they have something for everyone. Don't drive something ordinary when you can drive something extraordinary. I love the sexiest car on the lot that I found this time, a nice Zimbrick Mercedes. Find what you love. Test drive, and they will make leasing affordable. Zimbrick European.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their new patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside, no drafts. It's a game changer.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Join us on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Jesse, instead of me grousing more about how Aaron Rodgers didn't come to last year's offseason program to demystify himself, did you have anything on the text chain that you wanted to get to?
I did. Poor Chris in Cedarburg. He was yesterday's trivia contestant. Earlier, when Elijah got all 4 Star Wars questions entries, Chris texted in, so I was Tausch's trivia support animal yesterday. And he just said he wants today's contestant to win tomorrow.
That's fair.
IPT, stale chip boy.
I have to apologize. Chris did help me work through some things yesterday. So, yeah, I was a prisoner of the moment. Much apologies, Chris. Stale chip boy.
At only 6 to 12 of them.
Very few parents can feel the joy when their kid will say, thank you for bringing me 17 stale chips to eat on my drive home.
John in West Bend called in earlier during a commercial break and said we should have fans reenact Max's thank you for the chip video and then compare who got it closest to the actual thing.
I am open to that. You guys can be the judge of that. This, I feel like it definitely struck a nerve with some people, and I'm glad that there's a lot of people out there, unlike my buddies, that are just taking 3 bites and firing stuff in the garbage. Food security. It's a real thing.
That'll do it for us today. Thanks for coming along for the ride. You'll be rewarded with 6 to 12 chips that are stale if you come back tomorrow.
Don't
Have a great
forget
day.
your leftovers.
Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcast.